There she is.
Alrighty, welcome back everybody to our latest severe weather coverage. We are going live right off the bat with a confirmed tornado here in Oklahoma. You can see it in the distance here from Storm Chaser IRL. This is currently located just north of Pauls Valley. This has also just been upgraded to a confirmed tornado by the National Weather Service. You can see it in the distance there. There is a confirmed tornado here, tracking in the direction of Pauls Valley, Oklahoma, also heading towards Civet and as well as Burdanaut. It is just beyond the tree line. You can very vaguely see it right now in the middle left of your screen. Tornado is in progress. You need to be in your storm shelter, basement, closet, or bathroom, away from windows and on the lowest floor possible. If you are in Garvin County, Oklahoma, once again, tornado is in progress right now. This is confirmed. It's been on the ground for a couple minutes now. It's going to be on the left side of your screen. We'll probably have a clear view here in a second. Actually, Jaden Peppenheim, I think, has it as well now. I'm going to go ahead and try to get him on screen. Let's do...
It's still right back in there.
Jaden has a clear view of this right now.
Barry, where's our next north option? Besides the interstate. This thing's gonna curl to the north, right?
This is Jaden Peppenheim live shot on the left middle side of your screen. This is live. Jaden also has the tornado. This is again live tornado. This is again in Garvin County, Oklahoma. Left middle of your screen. It's currently tracking towards the north side of Pauls Valley. I'm gonna go to live radar here, so you just get on radar here. Again, this is a tornado in progress, heading currently in the direction of Civet and Burdanaut. You need to be in your storm shelter, basement, closet, or bathroom if you're in this tornado warning. The tornado's located just east of I-35 near White Bead. You can actually see a small debris signature now popping up on radar. This is heading towards Highway 19 and will be tracking eventually towards Stratford, again, just to the south of the Oklahoma City metro area. This is a very discreet supercell in a very favorable environment, so this tornado could go for a little bit if it continues. Let's go back over to Storm Chaser IRL, which again, this tornado has been confirmed here in the last few minutes. I believe it is still in progress. It's going to be in the left middle side of your screen. Yeah, it's definitely still in progress right there. You can see it in the middle of your screen. This is still a tornado in progress, currently heading up towards the north side of Pauls Valley, Oklahoma. Very far left side of your screen. I'm watching Jane too to see if he still has it. Not clearly seeing it from Nathan Moorstring anymore. No, it's still there. Riley has an update. Go ahead, Riley.
Hey, Max. Obviously, we know it's on the ground because we saw it on the Storm Chaser feed, but it is also now producing a TDS on radar.
Hey, Riley, for the update. Yeah, if you look at radar right now, there is clearly a tornado, and this could be a strong tornado with our little couplet here, approaching Highway 77 right now, just on the north side of Pauls Valley. It is currently coming up towards Civet, and will be going towards Burdanaut, and eventually going towards Stratford. Again, this is a very discreet supercell, and in this environment today, at least in southern Oklahoma, any storms that are in this environment are going to be capable of producing the potential for strong tornadoes. And we do have a concern with this storm that it could be producing a tornado for quite some time. So we definitely need to keep a very close eye on this. This is really the main supercell that we have right now that is currently producing a tornado. Again, this is definitely a concern. If you are in the Pauls Valley area, you should be in your safe place right now. There is a tornado in progress. We still have a debris signature on radar near Highway 77, and then back over near Stratford is another area that will eventually be in the path of this supercell as it continues to move east. So again, be in your safe place if you are in this tornado warning, away from windows and on the lowest floor possible. Right now, I'm not seeing any chasers with this tornado. I think Jane Peppenheim's currently positioning. Nathan Moore is currently going through Pauls Valley, and he's going to position out in front of this. Another thing I want to point out too with this supercell is that it could be producing some large hail as it tracks here towards the Stratford area of Oklahoma, possibly as large as golf balls. Currently nothing warned here for hail right now, but I do think golf ball sized hail will be a possibility as this storm continues to track to the east. It's a very classic looking supercell. It's also right near our warm frontal boundary, which is an elevated area of wind shear basically across this area. So we are expecting that this storm will continue to have a favorable environment for a tornado really over the next hour or so as it continues to track to the east. I also want to point out that back over near Oklahoma City, we had a huge hailstorm here over the last hour. That is now cleared out. We had upwards of baseball sized hail, but that that is no longer a concern. That storm has completely fizzled out. There are also storms ongoing further down to the south in North Texas that are big hail producers and wind producers. But as of right now, no imminent tornado risk with our storms currently down here in parts of North Texas. But we do have a severe thunderstorm watch for large hail, damaging winds, and even the potential maybe for a tornado if any storms can get organized. Connor on the bottom left of your screen is currently coming up on this out of the west. Let's see what Connor's looking at right now. Or coming out of the east, excuse me, as Nathan continues to go through town. This is what Connor's looking at. He is coming in from the east right now. The Hook Echo is basically going to be in front of him, and if we have a tornado, it'd be probably just to the left here of the trees or just beyond the tree line. We'll see if there's a little clearing over this small hill. I do not clearly see a tornado on radar anymore. The velocities have definitely broadened, and it might be recycling again. But this is what the supercell looks like here from the east side of the storm.
I think it's still moving southeast. It's like east-southeast. This thing is far.
See if Connor can see anything.
The freaking updraft from my perspective is still just exploding.
Come on, I mean, this is a beautiful view.
This is definitely a good view of the supercell here.
Where you at, buddy? You good?
Can't pass through these hills. Thing looks dead on radar. It's gonna need to develop a whole new mezzo.
It's either busy or probably got radio problems. I know he's been having some radio issues.
So it does not seem as if I do not think this is on the ground anymore. I think it was on the ground for like 3 minutes and it has lifted. I think right now it's trying to recycle again. The structure on this is pretty crazy, and again, this is right near our warm frontal boundary. There's a lot of wind shear, so there's definitely a solid chance that this thing will become tornadic again as it goes towards Stratford, and this is definitely going to be a better view right here over this hill.
Okay, yep, I'm on 1570 now. I just pulled over for a second.
As I say that, he lost a little bit of connection.
So I can download stuff real quick.
Yeah, you definitely see the structure.
Nice wall cloud.
Waited for us.
Nice wall cloud.
You did. You did.
Once again, if you're just tuning in, this is a confirmed tornado warning for Garvin County in Oklahoma, south of Oklahoma City, moving towards Stratford. We do not think the tornado's on the ground anymore, but we do think it could drop another tornado as it moves towards Stratford, also eventually going towards Ada and the Fitzhugh areas.
Right here for now.
You can see the wall cloud there in the middle of your screen.
Feels good.
Right
Feels
now.
good. Congrats.
That's the area of interest. I'm just gonna sit here and watch it come out.
I got an attempted initiation off to my west. Over
So again, definitely a little wall cloud right there on the left. Riley has an update. Go ahead, Riley.
Hey Max, just a note on the environment that this tornado is in. This is a look at our violent tornado parameter on the SPC's mesoscale analysis. Our storm is right around here, and the VTP in this area is maxing out at about a 16 or 17. Normally on a tornado day, we'd see those numbers be closer to 8 like they are here in Texas. But anytime we see this purple, that is an indicator that the tornado environment is very, very, very favorable. And that is part of the reason why we've already seen a tornado, and this storm will probably produce more tornadoes as it continues to take advantage of this environment.
All right, thank you, Riley, for the update. Going back to Nathan Moore, he's looking at the wall cloud as well right now. This is a live shot here from a little bit closer to the storm. He's currently in the northeast side of Pauls Valley. Again, no chasers right now are confirming a tornado here in the last couple minutes. We had a tornado initially. We think it has lifted, and there is a chance that this thing will recycle as it moves towards Stratford. More of a structure look right now. We do again have a wall cloud that's been rotating. On radar, the velocities have gotten broader near the surface. So again, no tornado as of now. The warning will probably be updated here in a moment.
There you go, Koch. You can click that.
Yeah, this is our only active tornado warning. It is just south of Oklahoma City. Just to the west of Stratford. A new tornado warning is pretty likely, I'd say, in the next few minutes, and that would probably include Stratford, just north of Wynwood.
It spun right over our car again. Just like the last 2 times. It was awesome. It was freaking awesome. And it dropped right on the other side of the car. Just like the last couple.
Let me go back over to Connor. Connor still has a good view of the wall cloud from the other way. Right, middle right of your screen is still that wall cloud. Hey, Jason, for the super chat.
Skinnier wall cloud, and then it just.
Also, thank you, Yavit, for the super chat. Decatur, Texas. Decatur's probably gonna be mostly wind and hail. I don't see much beyond that. The North Texas threat didn't really bust today. It's just it's a lot less significant than I think most of us were expecting.
No reason not to.
We haven't even really had any storms in Texas produce hail larger than 2 inches in diameter, which is pretty surprising with today's environment. This was the tornado moments ago. This was from Jaden Peppenheim.
Give us some more safe love.
This was moments ago from Jaden Peppenheim. That was the tornado here just off to the north of Pauls Valley. Again, since this point, it has lifted. We still have a wall cloud that has gotten a little bit more disorganized here over the last few minutes, but this storm is still in a very favorable environment for a potential tornado threat as it continues to track east here across central and southern parts of Oklahoma. Let's go back over to Nathan.
A new tornado warning has been issued.
Still has a good view of the storm too. We do have a new tornado warning. That is going to be for Stratford, just northeast of Pauls Valley. If you are in this tornado warning, seek shelter, get away from windows, lowest floor possible, and get to an interior room of your home or building. Once again, this is a favorable environment. I know we don't have anything on the ground right now, and it's not super organized, but this is a discrete supercell, and it's still around and just to the south of our warm frontal boundary, which means it's still in an unfavorable environment with lots of wind shear. So there's a chance that this could try to drop a tornado, and I wouldn't even rule out a strong tornado as this moves east. So if you're in Stratford, Oklahoma, you need to make sure that you're in your safe place, get away from windows, lowest floor possible, and get to an interior room of your home or building. If you're in Ada, Bing, or near Fitzhugh, you don't have to be in your safe place right now. You're still good for right now, but I do think that you need to be staying weather aware in this area. This is really going to be the main supercell here over the next few hours that produces the threat of a tornado as it continues to track towards Highway 3 and 377. We also have a little supercell that's been ongoing near Cato in Oklahoma. This thing's really tried for some time now to try to do something. Hasn't really had much success, but there's a little mezzo on it. Did have a wall cloud at one point earlier briefly, and that could maybe try to produce a threat for a tornado as that moves in the direction of Atoka and as well as Antlers. We do have a tornado watch for basically all of central, southern, and western Oklahoma for the next 4 to 4.5 hours. Goes until about 10 o'clock central time, and there's a chance that we could get a couple of tornadoes in this region, large hail, and the threat also for damaging winds. And then back over North Texas, we're still watching mainly for the threat of hail and wind. There is a low tornado risk. It's not zero, but generally speaking, these storms have been pretty messy overall today. And so far, Dallas-Fort Worth has really been spared so far with the at least most significant threat of severe weather. But at this point, definitely continue to stay weather aware if you are in that area. The observed tornado threat, or the observed tornado warning, excuse me, is about to be let to expire. So we'll be back down to a normal tornado warning for those in Stratford and just northeast of Pauls Valley. Velocities on radar. Let me go back to radar here. Velocities on radar. If you look at the hook echo, that's where we're looking for rotation. And the surface-based rotation is very weak, and it looks to be outflowy again. And that happened earlier in the cycle of this storm, where it was a bit more outflow dominant. I think as it moves east, it'll have a chance of recycling, and it could try to drop another tornado back over here in southern Oklahoma. Connor has a pretty good shot right now of our storm here. Let's go over to Connor. He is just to the east of our hook. And there you go. That's a pretty good shot here of the wall cloud.
I'm right in front of it. At the moment, there's just right to left motion. I don't see any left to right.
Any risk for Argyle? Argyle will be mostly a wind and hail threat. It's a low chance in my opinion right now.
I'm right where I need to be if it was going to produce. So.
Again, I could be crazy, but I swear that.
Are any storm chasers singing today? Is that what? Thank you, Leah, for the 10 gifted memberships. Really appreciate that. Also, thank you, Holly, for the super chat. Thoughts on Lone Oak, Texas? I think really anywhere in North Texas is mainly going to be an isolated wind and hail threat. It's honestly not even that significant, in my opinion, in Texas.
Wall cloud's crossing the road right in front of me here.
So definitely, look at the inflow, by the way, on the right. There's definitely inflow pumping into the storm still. See the inflow going right to left. That's the motion that Connor was just talking about. A strong inflow coming into the storm.
Edgar, welcome to Only Storms. Again, guys, we have a beautiful, beautiful visual right here.
How tall are they? What? I'm 8'7". Once again, this is a tornado warning for Pontotoc, Garvin, and McLean counties in Oklahoma. Still a large wall cloud. We have an inflow coming in from the right now. Right to left motion. This thing might be gearing up for another tornado as it moves in the direction of Ada. There's still a hook on radar. You can see the inflow still pumping in here from the right. Hey, grateful for the super chat. Thank you for all your coverage and the warnings for those in Kentucky last night and every one of your live streams. I appreciate that.
Thank you for the 10 gifted, Beer Gremlin. trying to look to see where this thing would even happen. I don't see much of anything going on at the moment. Needs a lot of work.
Look at that inflow pumping in from the right now.
Needs a lot of work.
Thing is really pumping. I mean, we've had a pretty strong inflow. All right, Connor's gonna reposition. Still has a view here from the back camera. This is on Highway 19 for those that are familiar with this area, northeast of Pauls Valley, Oklahoma, going towards Stratford. Obviously, if you're in Stratford, you should be in your safe place. Again, this storm might be gearing up for a new tornado here in the next few minutes. Riley has an update. Go ahead, Riley.
Hey Max, just an update on our event yesterday. So we've had a bunch of strong tornadoes already confirmed, some of them EF3 or more. Still gonna need more information from the National Weather Service on what those top ratings were. But I'll have more on that later along with some images. But in terms of fatalities, unfortunately, we did have a total of 33 fatalities. 24 of those were in Kentucky. 20 of those came out of London, Kentucky, where we saw at least an EF3 tornado impact. We had another 7 in Missouri associated with one of our PDS tornadoes there. And we also had 2 in Virginia associated with severe thunderstorm causing a downed tree to land on a vehicle.
Thank you, Riley, for the update. Yeah, that was again, yesterday was a deadly tornado outbreak. That might have been the deadliest tornado outbreak that we have actually covered. And so, yeah, Riley, go ahead.
Yeah, so actually yesterday I had the most tornado deaths associated with a severe weather event since the Mayfield tornado.
Wow. All right. Thank you for the update. That is the deadliest tornado outbreak that we've ever covered on this YouTube channel. And I also want to point out that another thing that might look kind of crazy is all the storm reports that we had yesterday. It wasn't just a deadly tornado outbreak. It also produced damage in a lot of places. We had over 1,000 damage reports across the board, either hail reports, wind reports, or tornado reports. We had 30 different tornado reports at least. And again, yesterday was just an unbelievable day. And unfortunately, this is going to be looked back at one of the more significant days that we've ever had. And yeah, also Riley's audio is back up. Sorry, I had it down by accident. But if you guys did not hear what Riley said, basically yesterday was the most deadly tornado event that we've had since Mayfield, which was back in 2021. So it's been about 4 years since we've had something quite at the magnitude of this event that we had yesterday. And unfortunately, I gotta say, like, I mean, we're not gonna see the same thing like what we saw yesterday, I think, over the next couple days, but it's possible that we have even more outbreaks. Like today is kind of a bit more of a conditional day. Tomorrow could be pretty significant here in the Great Plains. We'll be live obviously tomorrow. Monday could be a full-blown tornado outbreak. It has the chance of being a tornado outbreak just depending on storm mode and such, but right now it looks like that Monday could be the most significant day that we've had here over the last few days, but obviously it's just gonna depend on storm mode and stuff like that. It's right now an enhanced risk, but I would expect a moderate risk at some point here in the near future. Let's go back over to Connor. He still has a pretty good view here of that wall cloud. You can see it right there in the distance. This is right now near Stratford on our only tornado warning right now here just south of Oklahoma City, going towards Ada.
Yeah, guys, I'm gonna get up here.
This is also Storm Runner Media's view. They have a pretty good view of this too. This is located, they're near Pauls Valley right now. Huge shout out to Zombie with the $100 super chat, sending out my thoughts and prayers to the victims of the tornado outbreak from yesterday. Yeah, yesterday again was unbelievable. And as Riley already alluded to, again, almost all the tornado deaths yesterday were in London, Kentucky. I think there was 23. At least 20, but I think the number was at least 23. This is another shot. By the way, I want to throw this out there. There's a lot of storm chasers on this storm. Look at all the cars here on the left. It is a storm chasing convergence right now on this singular supercell in Oklahoma. And I mean, if there's a let me pull this up too. I'm gonna pull this up on here. You can actually see all the different storm chasers that are on this singular supercell right now. All these little red dots are storm chasers. You see all these little red dots here? Those are all storm chasers, all inside this tornado warning. We've probably got about 4 dozen just on this storm. Storm Runner Media has a really good view now of this. Look at this. This storm might, again, be gearing up for a new tornado here soon. The velocities on radar are very weak. It's not imminent, at least with our rotation on radar, but I do think give it a few minutes and it might be producing here soon.
There's lightning in the core again, so... hopefully this stays paved the whole way.
Lightning is slowly increasing in the center. We are just south of it.
And we're about to enter like 1,000,000 trees.
Alright, they're now behind some trees.
A new tornado warning has been issued.
Alright, we have a brand new tornado warning for Atoka County in Oklahoma. That's back over north of Caddo. This is a storm that we were just talking about a few minutes ago, northeast of Sherman. And again, this one's been rotating quite a bit here for some time. There is a definitely a couplet on this storm trying to develop. This is more of our mid-level rotation since our radar site is just so far down to the southwest. So if you are in this tornado warning, seek shelter, get away from windows, lowest floor possible, and get to an interior room of your home or building. This is moving off to the east-northeast. It's near Canny. Canny's really the only place included in this warning. This has literally been, I mean, this is a storm that actually initially was weakening, and we have a new updraft that went up. So this is a brand new storm that's going to be going right through the 69-75 interchange here, and then going through Canny, Tallahassee, Cook, and Bentley. That's again in southern Oklahoma. Back over in North Texas, just off to the west of Flower Mound near Bridgeport, we actually have a significant wind event happening over here. Around 70-mile-per-hour damaging winds moving in the direction of Decatur. They just reported back over from broadcast media at 5:42 p.m. 70-mile-per-hour winds were estimated in Joplin, which is just southwest of Runaway Bay and just southwest of Bridgeport. Additionally, ping pong ball sized hail has been reported on this storm. Lots of lightning as well. If this storm can somehow get a little bit more organized, I wouldn't rule out an isolated tornado threat, but I think more of a wind and hail threat for the time being for those over near Gainesville and Denton. And then just south of Dallas, mainly damaging winds and hail currently tracking towards Corsicana, Groesbeck, and also going towards Gun Barrel City. Wow, look at this structure. It's back over west of Ada in Oklahoma.
Oh my god.
This thing is definitely trying to gear up.
Go.
And the Storm Chaser convergence is here. That's what they're talking about. Thank you, Jason, for the super chat. I think the London tornado is at least EF3 damage from what I've heard from the National Weather Service, I believe.
See, that's where it would be back there, chat. That's where it would be.
We do have a beautiful view of this.
It is a Chaser Expo, though. I agree. It's a Chaser Expo.
Oh man, I hope this thing does not produce a tornado and then dive south, because
This guy needs to go.
It's going to take out all these cars.
Then that guy goes. Then we go. There's something there.
We're losing a little bit of connection here. Again, this is the storm going towards Stratford right now. Still a large lowering. This was a storm that produced a tornado at the very beginning of this stream. Near Highway 19 north of Pauls Valley. The tornado was pretty brief. It was on the ground for 4 minutes. As we've already alluded to, the environment is very favorable for tornadoes. If this storm can stay discreet and it's also not outflow dominant, it's been pretty outflowy here for a while.
Build back up, guys. It really is trying to build back up.
And Garrett is a meteorologist, also DL, both of them in the car right now. And Garrett's mentioning that it's definitely gearing up, and I do think it is gearing up too. I don't think this is far from producing another tornado. It'll really just be dependent on if this thing can catch up to its own outflow boundary again. It is already to the south of the warm front. It's in already unstable air, and there's lots of wind shear. There's also Connor Croft's view, just off to the west.
Impressive look
of Stratford. You can see the inflow from right to left coming into our storm right now.
It's got an impressive look to it right now.
It's here.
Miss, welcome to Only Storms.
Hey Wyatt, for becoming a member, welcome to the Velocities. It's my wife's birthday. Happy birthday to your wife. It's gonna be a higher end tornado if something ends up developing. It could. I mean, I'm not even kidding. Like today's environment,
Visual, guys.
it's very favorable for, you know, tornadoes. It's just gonna be contingent on if a storm like this one. This is the only storm I really think that has much of a chance. Maybe the one near Ada.
The conga line found us out here,
But-
Jaden. It's not fun anymore.
By the way, this is a shot here from the west side of our Hook Echo. You can see a rainbow here on the back side of our storm here from Storm Chaser IRL, who's also on YouTube. Little rainbow here on the back side. We go back over to Connor, who still has a really good view here. The wall cloud and also the inflow coming in from right to left. The storm's again currently tracking to Stratford over the next 5 minutes, and then eventually going towards Ada, Oklahoma, Bing, and just north of Roof.
Yes, I passed at least 100 chasers.
Thank you, Chris, for becoming a member.
That giant lowering.
Again, look at it. Like, this thing's incredible. I'm gonna give you guys a whole view of this thing.
I was giving us a
guys.
perspective.
Look at that supercell. Look at the structure up there.
At the bottom right of your screen, you can still see the inflow coming in right to left. It's been pumping this entire time.
Yeah, the further east you go on is 1570.
By the way, the National Weather Service of Norman has just put out this graphic. If I can pull it up. This is the graphic that they just posted. Tornado threat is increasing right now through 7:30 p.m. just north of Tupelo, going over towards Kiowa, near Ada, Oklahoma. This is an area, again, where we have a discrete supercell. And as they've mentioned here, the actions to take, make sure that you have multiple ways to receive warnings. Have a tornado action plan ready to go. And if you're in a mobile home, you might want to go to a sturdy structure. Probably a good idea to do so if you're anywhere in Ada right now, as this storm is trying to gear up for another tornado. If it does produce one, it definitely could be a significant one. Also, if we go over to the Storm Prediction Center here, I'll pull it up here in a second. Let me go back to Connor while I do that. Hey, Jason, for the super chat.
Before I do that, I'm gonna tighten this.
All right, got a couple updates. First off, they did issue they issued a mesoscale discussion a little over an hour ago, but it's still relevant for now because they have mentioned that there is a chance for even strong tornadoes today. Obviously, there's no hatch tornado risk today, but there's still a chance for strong tornadoes in this environment if any storm is discrete, like the one we have right now south of our warm frontal boundary. Also, the threat for hail as large as 3.5 inches in diameter is still in play. We had upwards of baseball-sized hail on the west side of the Oklahoma City metro not too long ago, and then up to 80-mile-per-hour damaging winds is also a possibility. And another thing to keep in mind is that we also have a new mesoscale discussion if you are in North Texas. So right around Dallas, Fort Worth, Denton, back through Hillsborough and Waco, there is still a threat for damaging winds and large hail with a cluster of ongoing supercell thunderstorms, and there's still a low chance for a tornado. The strong tornado potential is fairly low down here, but it's not zero. Main storm I'd be watching for a low tornado risk is the one just to the west there of Denton, but I still think it's a low chance of happening. I'm not super concerned about that as of right now, but obviously if anything does happen out of that, we'll obviously let you know, but it's more of a wind and hail threat for the time being. If we go back down to that storm real quickly, they again just reported, at least back over from broadcast media, that there are 70-mile-per-hour damaging winds and also ping pong ball sized hail with this storm. The worst of it is right now moving into Bridgeport, Texas, towards Chico, Alvord, and Decatur. Also a good amount of lightning with this, so be indoors if you're anywhere near this supercell. Even if you're back over in Denton County, we could even have some lightning strikes even on the west side of that county there. And also just south of DFW, there is a boatload of lightning down here north of Waco. Not much of a tornado risk right now at this line, but we will be watching more for a threat of damaging winds around 60 miles per hour. There's also a report in Whitney, Texas of a roof and awning damage on Jefferson Street in Whitney. So a little bit of damage back over there just to the south of Dallas, Fort Worth.
Nice.
It's a pretty good shot here from underneath the storm from Nathan Moore. Also Storm Chaser IRL here near Stratford. Supercells on the bottom right of your screen again. This is going to be heading into the town of Stratford over the next 5 minutes. Shout out to Ian with the $20 Venmo donation. I just placed my Culver's order before you went live, and yes, I ordered cheese curds. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the Venmo donation. Bro is making the curse live on. This is definitely a pretty good view of our supercell. This is pretty much underneath the Hook Echo right now. That's where Nathan is. You can see it on the bottom right of your screen. That's where he is right there, Hook Echo. It's gotten a little bit less organized over the last few minutes, but it might still be trying to gear up and cycle here as it approaches Ada. No lightning? There is some lightning. Believe it or not, if we look at radar right now, the lightning is actually up to the north. We have lightning strikes to the north. We have very little lightning in the actual supercell. And this is actually a left splitting storm. So this one's not really anything tornado-wise concerning, but it is going to continue to produce a little bit of hail and wind potential. Nothing severe at this time. This storm is moving more to the east, which is a right-hand moving supercell. These ones favor a tornado threat, and we're definitely seeing that right now. Stormrunner Media has a very ominous shot here.
That was you. I was like, why is this dude following me?
I was planning to turn up this road anyway.
Okay.
I just happened to be behind you guys.
Was it that lowering way west?
I don't know. Somebody following Stormrunner Media? Is that what you just said? Hey, Kelsey for the super chat. How's New England doing? New England's not going to be too bad. Just isolated wind and hail. If you're under any severe warnings, definitely make sure that you're staying away from windows. It's mostly hail and wind. It's a low-end marginal threat right now. There's a tornado possible label on the storm in Grafton County, New Hampshire.
We were 5 minutes too late.
Back to them in a second. Yeah, back over in New England again. We do have actual severe weather happening up here. It's not much, but mostly wind and hail. Very low chance of a brief tornado going towards Bartlett and Bretton Woods. Back over in my home state of New Hampshire. That's where I was born. Fun fact. We still have a tornado warning in southeastern Oklahoma, just south of Atoka. This one's gotten weaker over the last few scans, not nearly as concerning north of Caddo, but continue to stay in your safe place as long as this tornado warning's here. It still includes Caney, Cook, and Bentley. They also issued a severe warning for 60-mile-per-hour winds and quarter-sized hail that is currently tracking to the east-northeast. Our tornado warning, once again, is far to the southeast of Oklahoma City. We had baseball-sized hail on the west side of Oklahoma City not too long ago from a supercell that has now fully weakened out, and so Oklahoma City, we're looking okay for right now, but storms could initiate again in a little bit back off to your west. And then over near Stratford is where our tornado warning is. This storm is moving towards Ada, Oklahoma right now. And again, we got a huge storm chaser convergence here. Lots of different live shots of the storm. We'll go back over to Nathan, who has a view from underneath this storm.
This thing looks visually right now.
It'll jump up, but then it keeps crashing down to like 800.
This is like
And it is updated.
classic Oklahoma grungeness taking place.
Is Freddy live?
Okay, now it's starting to solidify.
Oh, that was a nice little tornado.
Freddy is
Yeah, I was watching other
alive.
people's stuff
Okay.
on it.
Right as I get a visual, I like see the funnel just occluding up into the air, and
Actually, that's a good shot right here.
69 spotted up.
See the rising scud right there in the middle. It's very raggedy. It's not super organized right now, but it's definitely trying to organize again. It looks very outflowy on radar. Look at velocities bottom right. We really don't have anything going into the storm right now. It's all wind for the most part over Highway 19. Doesn't appear imminent, even though it looks pretty sus right now. It doesn't look very imminent to me. Hey, Morgan for the super chat. Last night, you noticed a possible tornado in Dundalk, Maryland, and there was confirmation that a tornado did touch down. So I'm glad I could help you out with that. And, yeah, I'm honestly not surprised. There was a couple on radar. We never had a CC drop, but not too surprising that we had a tornado there.
Don't want to get it.
By the way, on this tornado warning right now, this is kind of crazy. We have 69 spotter dots. What that basically means is that there are at least 69 storm chasers inside of this singular tornado warning right now. That's pretty crazy. Hey, Douglas for a super chat. Watching from Naples, Italy. Good job on yesterday's coverage. Very professional. I appreciate that. Still see above his head right here. This is, again, where we would have a potential threat of a tornado, which right now, again, it does not look imminent. Back over to Stormrunner.
Regulations just off to my.
Thank you, Steve, for the super chat. I live in Cali and appreciate you looking out for the people that are in a bad place. No problem. Appreciate you tuning in.
See, there's up here and there's also another one back.
It's sucking up a lot of scud up underneath it too.
see the mezzo like right there. You know? See it, yeah. You even have a little bit of like a clear slot trying to wrap around, but yeah. See it, yeah.
Still has a chance it could cycle here.
Yeah, I see that rising scud over there, and I'm like,
might be cycling.
what's going on over that way?
Over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could have swore I saw motion in it, but
There definitely was a minute ago. Huh.
of course I can't load velocity now.
Hey, Eden, for the becoming a member. When is DFW getting hit? Within the next hour. Within the next hour. If we get anything in DFW, it'll be within the next hour. I do want to point out, if we go back over to North Texas right now, that's what it looks like on live radar. We have a big storm again just to the northwest of Fort Worth, and we've also had a little bit of convection going through DFW. And so what we have right now basically is just a few little weak storms that are moving through, nothing that's currently severe, even though I think that actually Denton County could get a severe warning here in the next few minutes for wind. We actually have a little bit of higher pocket of wind there near North Lake and Argyle, right along I-35. So there could be a severe warning here in a moment for Denton County. But back over in Dallas-Fort Worth, we have a few showers passing by, and this should actually create a more stable environment here across areas like Fort Worth and Dallas to kind of prevent any sort of significant severe weather from happening. Also, back over near Corsicana, Texas, still got a line of storms moving to the east with damaging winds and hail. Not really any tornado risk with this as of right now. And then back over northwest of Denton in Decatur, Bridgeport, just southwest of Gainesville, currently looking at golf ball sized hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds currently tracking to the northeast. Riley has an update. Go ahead, Riley.
Hey Max, we just got a new tornado from yesterday added into the NWS damage assessment toolkit. So I believe this is what people were referring to as the Sikeston tornado. Sikeston's down here south of it. The tornado is actually further north near Sandywood, Missouri. They haven't officially named this tornado yet, so that's why we can't see the path that it took, but it was something a little bit like this. The strongest damage occurred right away over here near Jones Drive, where we had an EF3 damage indicator of 152-mile-per-hour winds. That was this house right here. So this was a 1 or 2 family residence with most exterior walls damaged and only a few interior walls still standing in the smallest rooms. It does not seem like the NWS has confirmed any fatalities directly for this tornado yet. We're not going to have that information until they go ahead and name this event and put the line in there. But if we do get more information on that, I will update you there.
Thank you, Riley, for the update, and it's a miracle that nobody was injured or killed from a tornado like this. Again, this is a full screen view of that damage, and again, that is just devastating. That looks like somebody's home that is now basically unlivable in right now, back over here in southeast Missouri, and then just significant damage here across the board. So unfortunately, that is one of the many photos that we've seen of damage across both Missouri or even Kentucky, where there's basically been catastrophic damage. And I would have to go ahead and say that's pretty close to catastrophic damage there. I mean, that's going to take a long time to rebuild that area. And again, that was right around, I think it was Sandy Woods, just southwest of Porter in Missouri. All right, back to our tornado warning. This is again our tornado warning right now, located over Stratford, Oklahoma, going towards Ada. This is still a discrete supercell. Right now, does not look super organized on radar. The velocities have been pretty broad. It is still tornado warning for the next 20 minutes. It is radar indicated. I still think this has a chance of producing a tornado as it continues to track towards Highway 1. Still a very favorable environment here in southern Oklahoma. The tornado warning in southeast Oklahoma for Atoka has been canceled, so we no longer have a tornado warning here. And then back over in North Texas, we just got a severe warning. There you go, for Denton County. That is for 65-mile-per-hour winds. The main wind threat right now is coming right up into the southwest side of Denton, coming up towards Crum and I-35. So stay away from windows on the lowest floor possible if you are in Denton County. There's been a big surge of wind just within the last couple minutes. Some isolated power outages are possible. And then back over near Decatur, we have a big surge of wind going right through the downtown area of Decatur right now, heading up towards Roston, and also going towards 1630 roadway towards Munster, just west of Gainesville. That'll eventually track towards the Red River Valley, so Ardmore, you're definitely not done with severe weather here over the next few hours. Also, this was our tornado that we had at the beginning of the stream. Just the tornado report now coming in back over on I-35. It was on the ground probably for about 4 or 5 minutes, just to the north there, Pauls Valley. Hit possibly a few little buildings, mostly trees in this area here near 77. So that was our initial tornado, and now this is still gearing up to try to produce another tornado, maybe here in the near future. Still in a very favorable environment, probably at least for the next hour or two. Go back over to Connor. Thank you, Darkle, for the super chat. Congratulations on graduating. I appreciate that. And he's going through a low signal area. We'll go back over to Stormrunner Media. And they're going through a low signal area. Everybody's going through low signal right now. Alrighty. Back to live radar. Thank you also, Joseph, for the super chat. Appreciate the super chat. Thank you. Alright, Stormrunner should be getting a better view here. They have a good view, it's just low signal. I don't know if they're going to come back here in the next second or two. This looks like some serious contamination here, Stratford. There is a new severe thunderstorm warning back over in Mississippi, by the way. They did issue a severe watch here for parts of Mississippi, Arkansas, and Louisiana, mainly for wind and hail. This storm just southeast of Lake Providence is warned for golf ball-sized hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds just south of Cary. That's heading towards Highway 61, just north of Vicksburg. There was a little area of rotation on this, but it really is not looking that impressive. I don't think it's going to produce a tornado. Not a very favorable environment. We also have a severe storm in southern Alabama heading towards Georgiana, south of Greenville, for wind and hail. Tornado risk, again, anywhere in this general area is basically zero. I'm not expecting much of a tornado risk in those areas. Also, we got a new damage report just west of Killeen. We got one little supercell here heading up towards San Saba, just west of Lampasas. This actually is a report in Mason, Texas, of a power line down, which is now inactive. So expect some power outages, even if you're back over just north here of Fort Worth. We could get some power outages due to the wind that is currently moving across both Denton County and also going up towards Cook County. Right now in Wise County, lots of lightning, wind, and a little bit of hail currently tracking to the northeast. And tornado warning still goes for 17 more minutes. Heading over towards Ada. It's a very slow moving supercell, by the way. This is moving east-southeast currently at about 25 miles per hour. This is a pretty good view of our supercell now from Storm Chaser IRL on YouTube. It does not look imminent, but that's a view of the structure. Thank you, Jason, for becoming a member. All the chasers are sharing signal. We have a lot of chasers in here.
I wanted to get south a little bit, get out of it. Then we don't have to worry about the hail. We don't have to worry about...
I saw a video of last night's London, Kentucky tornado, total destruction. Yeah, unfortunately, it's total destruction in London and even over near Somerset. That was a violent tornado last night. Again, we will not officially know what the rating was until probably, if I had to guess, we won't know until tomorrow. But we'll see.
You would have been getting further and further away from the hail.
By the way, this is some more damage coming out of... I think this might have been the damage we just looked at. No, this is a different photo. This is another photo from the Sikeston, Missouri tornado. I mean, that's just unbelievable. Look at the car next to the tree. I can't even tell what that is. Another car just in a bunch of rubble here. Again, back over just north of Sikeston. This is an EF3 tornado, maximum sustained winds up to 150 miles per hour. And according to this post, there's at least 2 deaths. We have not seen anything official yet, but I mean, it is entirely possible. Let's hope there was nothing.
Tornado?
We didn't get ahead of it. We were behind.
Let's back over to Nathan on the tornado warning cell here near Stratford. Clouds are still hanging low right now.
Because we came up from the southwest, so yeah.
Yep, cross kind of just north of Pauls Valley, across the interstate there.
I would say we're right over 35, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you get any pictures of it?
I didn't get pictures. I got on the live stream.
Starting to see it rotate a little bit more on the right side. It looks like it might be trying to organize again.
Let's see here.
Yeah, it looks like it's trying to organize again. This might be trying to drop again here in the next few minutes.
IRL.
It's been recycling for quite some time. Velocities on radar really aren't that strong right now, but I mean, it looks like it's trying to organize. Okay, so this is the update on the Sikeston tornado. There have been at least 2 fatalities, but the National Weather Service has not confirmed if they were directly associated with the tornado, at least according to the damage assessment toolkit. There's a tornado.
There she is.
Or is he playing audio? Oh, he's playing somebody's audio. What? That really caught me off guard. There's no tornado, but this storm is organizing. I'm gonna turn off his audio. He has still a good view. I say it did not look like a tornado, unless there's somebody underneath it.
Rainbow. Did somebody clip that for him? They were waiting for you.
But the top right, this thing's definitely starting to rotate.
Looks like it's trying to do something right here, guys. We're spinning pretty hard. We're spinning pretty hard right here.
Yeah, it's definitely rotating. This thing's organizing quickly.
It's kicking dust up everywhere.
Starting to ramp up. It's coming together right now near Stratford, Oklahoma. This is going to be going towards Ada and Fitzhugh.
Girl just resubscribed for 8 months.
It's definitely starting to spin. It's definitely organizing. Velocities are not really that strong yet, but there's a little bit of something on radar here, right in the hook. It's currently near 177. A little spin on the right there. It's definitely spinning on the right. It's been spinning on the right quite a bit now. Not super organized yet. I think it's going to still be a few minutes, but it's definitely trying to organize. Thank you, Matthew, for becoming a member. And Greg for becoming a member. Welcome to the Velocities. And Jason. This is now, yeah, the storm is actually over Stratford with the ping pong ball-sized hail threat. But, the tornado threat is now more south of Stratford. So it's actually tracking more in the direction of Rough, Fitzhugh, and maybe just southwest of Ada. The storm's been kind of going more to the southeast over the last several minutes rather than east. But yeah, it's definitely rotating right now. Don't forget, if you're just tuning in, make sure to subscribe to the channel. We do severe weather coverage like this all the time. Make sure to like the stream. Helps get this out to more people. If you have any friends or family in Oklahoma or Texas, make sure to share the stream. We'll be live with commercial-free coverage here over the next probably few hours, as long as these storms look concerning. This one, again, is right now located near Stratford, Oklahoma, southeast of Oklahoma City. It is beginning to rotate quite a bit. I don't think it's yet gonna drop, but I do think in the next few minutes it could try to drop something as it goes towards Fitzhugh and Rough. Storm intermediate is also coming up on this. I'm going to go back to the live radar. So again, this storm is currently tracking down to the southeast, going towards Fitzhugh, Rough, and Ada. And if it continues for a while, which it easily could, it could go towards areas like Colgate in the long term, and perhaps even just to the east there of Sulphur in Mill Creek. Right now, velocities on radar, not looking crazy. We definitely have more of a strong RFD surge here near 3370 Road. Not much of an inflow still, but it's definitely trying to organize a little bit. I think in the next few minutes, this thing could try to drop a tornado. We also have ping pong ball sized hail on the center and north side right now of Stratford, which is also heading towards Highway 19. That could actually impact Ada. So if you're over in Ada, be prepared for a little bit of large hail. It's not a guarantee, but it is definitely possible.
Yeah.
Back over to Storm Runner. Actually, let's go over to Connor. He has a good view, I think.
We gotta get out of here.
Connor has had a chaser convergence. It is a chaser convergence here in Oklahoma right now.
To the left of the road. But
hey, Psycho for the super chat. I heard trees are down on Highway 380 between Bridgeport and Decatur.
I'm like,
thank you for the report.
I gotta go, dude.
And unfortunately, I do think that's going to be a common thing down there in North Texas over the next couple hours. I don't know if he's going to get past these trees fast, but it still looks pretty good from his end on this storm. Right beyond the tree line. Look at that. Storm Runner. Wow. Look at that. It's very scuddy right now, but the rotation's been picking up on radar a little bit. Really scuddy. It's not super organized yet.
Sinking motion.
More sus than anything. I wouldn't say, again, the tornado threat is like still imminent, but I think it could happen in, you know, the next 10 to 15 minutes as it moves southeast.
See this funnel. Oh, wait. Damn, no, I don't see it.
coming through, but if you...
We need to drop south.
You go back over to Nathan.
Go all the way to where it ends.
I think he's in a low signal area right now. We're gonna go to the 3-cam view until somebody gets a little bit better of a look at this storm. Once again, this is what the supercell looks like. Another thing I want to point out, by the way, the hail core is actually ramping up right now. So we have a big hail core right now over the city of Stratford. So we are definitely talking about the potential now for upwards of golf ball sized hail, maybe even 2-inch sized hail, tracking towards Fitzhugh and Ada over the next few minutes. So if you're in the warning right now, you should be away from windows, not just for the tornado threat, but also the potential for very large hail. Riley has an update. Go ahead, Riley.
Hey Max, it looks like we've actually had sort of a second updraft go up here, and it's a little less prevalent in this last scan, but I do think we actually have 2 areas of rotation within this storm. I think it's going to have to sort of morph a little bit and sort of congeal back together before it has any sort of tornado potential like it did earlier. However, the chance for a tornado still remains, so take shelter in that tornado warning if you haven't already.
Thank you, Riley, for the update. So there could be 2 different updrafts here. Let's go back over to Storm Runner. And their camera's gotten really foggy. But right side of your screen is, again, the area of interest. Yeah, no tornado actively, but we think one could drop here in the next few minutes.
Use that camera, it's got mud all over it.
Thank you, Major, and as well as Beth for becoming members. Welcome to the Velocities.
To look at it. Why is this the strip?
Also, thank you, Karen, for becoming a member.
Because it lost connection, Starlink South.
No, it says at maximum you can't break connection.
I know it says that, but that's what happens when it loses connection. My phone does the same thing, so Starlink is out. I don't know why, but it's not on.
Look at this. This is crazy. This is Vince Walty, also on Radar Omega with Project Weather Eye as well. That is the structure here from just east of Ada. Look at that structure. This is more of a structure shot from the east side of the storm, which nobody's on right now, aside from Vince.
Knots, probably 25 miles an hour. Okay, this thing's like about to plow me over here. Oh shit, I gotta go. I'm gonna drop out. I just passed this. Are you shitting me?
That's a crazy looking structure though. Bro's not ready to get the hail core.
We gotta get turned the fuck
Warning
around.
text has it only at 20 miles an hour.
That's still a pretty crazy structure shot.
That was our south option. I didn't even see a sign for it.
Go back to live radar. We have this tornado warning for another 6 minutes. It goes until 6:30 or 5 minutes now. So about 5 more minutes left on this tornado warning. If I had to guess, they'll probably issue another one on this. If not, they'll at least issue a severe warning for hail and wind. We definitely have some hail falling right now in Stratford and near Gar Corner, coming up towards Pickett, and that's also going into Vanoss, and then eventually going towards Ada and Latta and Lawrence. So be ready again for upwards of golf ball sized hail over the next few minutes as the storm continues to track to the southeast. There's also a chance again for a tornado with this as it continues to track southeast. Back over in Texas, we still have multiple severe thunderstorm warnings. Back over in Denton County, we still have damaging winds and hail. Continuing around Denton, it's mostly wind, but a little bit of quarter-sized hail is possible. Frequent lightning as well in the area. Stay away from windows if you are in this area, as this storm does continue to track to the northeast. And then back over in Decatur, Paradise, Bridgeport, we're now clearing out from our severe storm that is now tracking up towards Cook County. Quarter-sized hail, maybe even up to $half-sized hail, will be moving into Munster over the next few minutes. We should get a new severe warning here in just a minute or two for Munster, Gainesville, and Thackerville, and then also Marietta back up in Oklahoma. And then also another storm near Bowie that could also produce a little bit of hail and wind as that moves to the north and north-northeast. We also have another severe storm south of Waxahachie with wind and hail currently pushing towards Corsicana, I-45, Athens, and Palestine. Nothing super crazy out of the storm. It's just a lot of lightning, a little bit of wind, a little bit of hail. And then near San Saba, Texas, we also have some hail and wind currently moving into that
A new tornado
town
warning
here
has
over the
been
next few
issued.
minutes, so be ready for that. We also have a new tornado warning, which is an extension to our active tornado warning. This will be for those in Pontotoc and Garvin counties in Oklahoma. It'll pop up here in a second. It's going to be an extension, though, to our active tornado warning. And so Ada is included in this tornado warning. So if you're in Ada, Oklahoma, seek shelter, get away from windows, lowest floor possible, and get to an interior room of your home or building. If you're in Ada, just south of Bing, north of Fitzhugh, and just to the north of Ruff, we're now included in this tornado warning. Vince still has a crazy structure shot here near Ada.
Mega storm.
Storm definitely looks crazy.
Ava, you're now included.
Yeah, if you're in Ada, Oklahoma, you need to be in your safe place. Again, this storm's definitely producing hail. Could produce another tornado as it moves east. Looks like Nathan has a little bit of a shot here beyond the tree line of at least still a lowering. I'm not seeing a whole lot on radar still when it comes to rotation. It's just been low clouds for the most part here over the last several minutes. Some mid-level rotation, really the main thing we've been seeing. Thank you, Gene, for becoming a member.
They extended the tour.
One problem here is a lot of trees out here near Ada.
Crispy floor tank gifted a tier 1 self-tempered cards with sunlight.
Thank you, Rogue, for the super chat. There has not been anything confirming an EF5 tornado from yesterday. Alright, he's losing signal. Back to live radar. Actually, let's go back to Vince. Vince taking the turn here, and we should have a better view of the storm again. Oh, nope, more trees. I don't think we have a rating yet for the London or Somerset, Kentucky tornado. We will probably have it either tonight or tomorrow, at least a preliminary rating, if I had to guess. But we're not going to have a rating, I think, for at least a little bit. It's going to take some time. I mean, that was a long tornado, and it covered a pretty large area.
Monster wall cloud here. K9 TSC monitoring.
It's a pretty good view here. Thank you, Amy, for the super chat. Wind and hail started in Denton. Having you cover these storms, how I stay calm for my family. I'm glad I can help.
Wow.
This storm looks unbelievable. So once again, Vince Walty, also on the Radar Omega app. What a crazy looking structure here. Hey, Kozar for the super chat. Once again, it's asking about Central Oklahoma. I think Central Oklahoma's not really going to be too bad at this point. Again, our main storms have already come through. We had a big hailstorm on the west side of Oklahoma City. By the way, huge shout out to Mike with the very generous $100 Venmo donation. W's in the chat for Mike saying thanks for your great reporting. I really appreciate that. Thank you, Mike, for the very generous Venmo donation. W's in the chat for Mike. Big W spam. I'm not even gonna lie, by the way, guys. Today, before I went live, I was like, I don't even know if I can go live because my voice felt terrible, and I'm live after yesterday. I definitely used up my voice yesterday, that is for sure. My voice was cooked. This is a gnarly storm structure here. Looks even crazier the closer it gets to Vince.
Could be something
the damaging wind threat in Grayson, Cook, and Denton counties in Texas is observed, by the way. It's up to 65 mile/hour winds. That is now an observed
I've been
threat.
out of the car for a minute. It definitely looks like there's a focused lowering there, but I can't tell what it is. I'm not calling tornado, but it's just, it looks very suspicious in there. Maybe it's trying to form.
Once again, this is a tornado warning for Ada, Oklahoma. Just east of Stratford, Pontotoc, and Garvin counties. A live shot of the storm.
Probably not fully surface-based, but I think it
no,
could
it
give
definitely
it a shot
is.
here.
It definitely is 100% surface-based. It's got hot inflow, very low wall cloud. This thing looks nuts.
Take that back. Yeah, I don't know.
Vince is still saying there is a low wall cloud, plenty of inflow. He thinks it's still surface-based, which it does still look surface-based.
Mesoanalysis does show some sin build.
On radar, it does not look visually like it's imminent. Velocities have been pretty much just... It still looks kind of outflowy to me.
84 over 79, so I actually tend to agree with you that.
I may go back to Highway 1. It's kind of, this is all a little bit displaced from where it looks on radar. It's a little bit out ahead of it.
I agree with that.
Oh,
it's
no,
definitely
that's our area
displaced.
of interest right here. Right there. These guys suck at parking. Is this thing still moving southeast?
Yeah, just barely
Alright, I gotta back up
southeast.
for these
It's almost
guys 'cause they're
entirely
all
east, though.
Throw the lights on so I don't get...
Is Dallas okay? Dallas is probably going to be all right. Hey, Dale, for becoming a member. Going back to live radar, back over in Texas. Again, I do think Dallas-Fort Worth is clear now. We already had some showers pass by. It's already kind of stabilizing our atmosphere. The bulk of the severe weather has really missed both Dallas and Fort Worth. It's mainly south of DFW and also north of DFW near Denton. Mainly a wind threat. We also have new severe thunderstorm warnings for golf ball-sized hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds. Moving in the direction of Ardmore, Oklahoma towards I-35. This is all left-moving storms, so we're really not expecting a whole lot of a tornado risk out of this activity. It should be mostly wind and hail as that tracks towards the Red River Valley and then into southern Oklahoma over the next hour or two. The supercell that was tornado warned at one point back over here south of McAllister, that thing is gone. It is completely gone near Atoka. The main supercell right now is the one near Ada, which again, the velocities on this thing have not really looked very, organized. We just haven't really seen much in terms of a tornado threat in a while. We've had a large wall cloud. We've had, a little bit of rotation too in the clouds, just nothing near the surface at this point. More of a wind and hail threat for Ada, but we are still monitoring the potential for a tornado as this continues to track in the direction of Ada, Stonewall, Fitzhugh, and Gertie, also trying to go towards Ashland and Colgate in the long term. This is back to... Let's do Nathan. Nathan Moore is underneath the storm right now. Actually, Connor has a good view.
To the
Connor should have a good view here after he gets past this hill.
Of storm chasing.
Maybe. Or the trees are in the way.
Will be when there's just so many people out chasing to where you just can't do it at all. We're not there yet, and hopefully we're not there for several years, but it's going to come to that point eventually.
Is Alan okay? Yeah, Alan, Texas is all right. Let me go back to Nathan. He had still has a decent view of the storm. Still pretty low clouds back there. Still really don't think anything's imminent here. Just doesn't look very imminent. Back over to Connor. That's a decent structure right there.
Okay, I'm trying to get a visual of this thing. It looks kind of outflowy from where I am.
This is Connor. This is Connor. Hey, Jonas, the super chat. Yeah, I think the problem is, I think we had another updraft go out in front of this, as Riley alluded to, and I think that's the problem.
Birds in the road here.
I think that's the problem with this storm right now.
The
The other problem is we can't really see the storm with all the trees in the way.
There's like a weird chicken on the all like.
Thought we would get a better view here. That's why I'm on Connor. There's a little bit better view now.
Anything down in there? Can't tell. Can't tell if anything's down in there.
To me, it still looks pretty outflowy, both on radar and also here, which would usually mean that it's not imminent. Thank you, Sharon, for the super chat. Congratulations on graduation. I enjoy listening to your coverage of what the weather is doing. Thanks for the heads up and keeping folks safe. I appreciate that. Thank you, Sharon, for the super chat. Storms are starting to fire in western Kentucky. They're firing in western Kentucky right now? Or western, do you say Kentucky or Kansas? Nothing in Kansas. Nothing in Kentucky. What did I just read in chat? Oh, that was West Kansas. I don't see anything firing in West Kansas right now. I do want to point out, back over in the Texas Panhandle, we do have a couple storms firing up. There's a chance that we get a bit more of a cluster of storms going here in the next hour or so in western Oklahoma that could provide a threat for damaging winds and a little bit of hail. Not much of a tornado risk out of that activity. The tornado watch across Oklahoma does continue here for the next 3.5 hours across Oklahoma City, Norman, Elk City, Altus, back towards the Red River Valley. That's until 10 o'clock tonight. And then severe thunderstorm watch is in place across most of North Texas and also back into areas just west of San Antonio and Austin. And if we are live all the way until 8:30 or so, we might see bats take off on radar back over near Austin. So I'll have to wait and see on that. We might still be live, depending on if the storm continues to be a threat or if there's other storms that are threatening.
You weren't kidding about that concrete. I just smacked it.
What did you just say?
Yeah, there's another one about a mile down, so be careful with that one as well. They just didn't patch the road at all. They just dumped a mound of
What did he smack? Well, what did he smack? I missed that. What?
So bad.
What?
Seems like there's some problems.
What did Jaden smack?
Is it on 1570?
Yes.
Everybody's going north.
1570. It looks like 2 miles before.
Back over to Vince. This is just on the south side of Ada. This is what the structure looks like right now. Oh, he hit concrete? Well, that's not good.
That's good though, because it's right over town.
I thought he hit another turkey or something. So this is what it looks like. He's going northbound right now on Highway 1. Going up into the southwest side of Ada. Still looks outflowy to me, but definitely got some hail coming up into Ada. 60 to 70 mile per hour damaging winds. Decent amount of lightning as well. Hey Tina for becoming or for the super chat.
That direction. I'm on Big Canyon Road though.
Still pretty crazy looking.
Oh yeah, he's going into the pie shop.
Whoa! Look at the dust. Little dust, Gust NATO thing spawn. That was cool.
Gust NATO?
Construction 40.
Do you think Connor's gonna get stuck in mud again? Bro, I'm surprised it hasn't happened in the last like 2 months. I'm not gonna lie. It's bound to happen. It is bound to happen for Connor. Happened 3 times, I think, last year. I think it has to happen again here in the next like month or two. All right, Riley has an update. Go ahead, Riley.
Hey Max, so we have more updates out of St. Louis where we did have a number of fatalities last night. It sounds like we're up to 5,000 homes that have been confirmed damage, and they announced a curfew for tonight from 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. tomorrow in order to hopefully keep people off the streets because of how many property loss there was.
Thank you, Riley, for the update. That is not what we want to hear. Again, St. Louis was under the gun of a big tornado yesterday. I was on the ground literally in St. Louis for like 5 minutes, and it was just in St. Louis. I mean, it was nowhere else. And again, I'm pretty sure the National Weather Service has already said there was at least EF3 plus damage from that tornado, and at least 5 fatalities from that specific tornado. So unfortunately, it was a very highly populated area, and we had multiple tornadoes yesterday that were in highly populated areas. So that was not the only one that was in a populated area. Thank you, Roger, for the Venmo donation. Outbreak today, or sorry, today, tomorrow, or Monday. So today is not an outbreak. Today was more of a conditional risk anyway. This is our severe weather outlook for today, which honestly has not really panned out very much. This is the outlook that we have, though, in place for today. An enhanced risk of severe weather across a large chunk of Texas, southeast Oklahoma, and southwestern Arkansas, a little sliver of northwestern Louisiana. Slight risk is also in place across most of Oklahoma, back through Arkansas, Mississippi, and Texas. And then marginal threat back up into Kansas. But generally speaking, I mean, overall, we've definitely seen some scattered severe weather in our enhanced. Has not been as significant, though, as we once expected. We thought there would be a lot more storms, especially in Dallas-Fort Worth. The storms have actually split more to the north, which has led to less storms in Dallas-Fort Worth today than we expected. But we are continuing to expect at least some more damaging winds and hail over the next few hours. Tomorrow has the potential for a severe weather outbreak, maybe even a significant tornado outbreak. I think if we have a tornado outbreak any day over the next 3 or 4 days, it will be tomorrow and Monday. They look very favorable, maybe even Tuesday. For tomorrow, we're gonna have a dry line very sharply back over here in Kansas, and as well as back through Oklahoma and Texas. Any storms that initiate on that dry line tomorrow afternoon could easily produce significant tornadoes. We have a lot of wind shear in place for tomorrow. Tomorrow is still more conditional. Monday's also still a bit conditional, but there's already a large enhanced risk of severe weather in place. And I personally do think with our dry line setup that we are going to see more significant severe weather here with our dry line setup back over in Oklahoma, Kansas, and Texas, with the potential for more strong and even long track tornadoes. And then on Tuesday, guess what? We got more severe weather ahead on Tuesday. We got enhanced risk already in place back over in Nashville, Huntsville, back towards Memphis, and a slight risk across Indianapolis, Springfield, St. Louis, back towards Little Rock. Not very far off from the area that we just covered yesterday. It's only a little bit further down to the south, really, more than anything. And all hazards of severe weather are on the table as we go into Tuesday as well. So over the next 4 days or so, we are expecting a lot of severe weather. And again, we're going to be live literally every single day. So make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Latest update for our tornado warning cell here near Ada, Oklahoma. We've not really seen any rotation on radar here in the last little while, but we are continuing to monitor the threat of large hail and damaging winds. They have put a severe thunderstorm warning in place near Highway 3 and Highway 1 for Ada and Bing. That is for 70-mile-per-hour damaging winds and ping-pong ball-sized hail. This storm is currently tracking to the southeast. So if you are in the severe thunderstorm warning, continue to stay in your safe place, away from windows, and on the lowest floor possible. Hey, Victoria, for becoming a maximum velocity member. Yeah, Ada's about to get some pretty big hail. If you're in Ada, you're definitely going to get at least some $quarter to $half sized hail, but I mean, the main hail core is literally going to be going into your town over the next few minutes. This is Vince looking at our tornado warning cell here. Doesn't look like it's imminent, but it is a structure shot here.
It looks like that's exactly what should be happening. Also, the area of rotation with the highest winds, or at least the highest...
This is a hail photo from Susie in Mustang, Oklahoma, from about a little over an hour ago. That's around almost 3-inch diameter hail. That's the size of a baseball. Imagine that coming down and hitting you in the head. That would be really impactful. I mean, that is exactly what you don't want to be outside for, is hail that large. That is very large hail. That's what we had just west of Oklahoma City earlier. Also, new mesoscale discussion from the Storm Prediction Center. This is going to be for those in southwest Oklahoma, or southwest Arkansas, southeast Oklahoma, northeast Texas, northwest Louisiana. Wind damage and large hail threat is expected to develop early this evening, and a new watch is likely here shortly. So that'll be issued here within the next hour or so. Notice that the most probable peak intensity still indicating that we could see the potential for a strong tornado, damaging winds up to 80 miles per hour, and then also up to 2.5-inch hail is going to be possible. Storm Media is actually driving through our
and take one of these
through this storm right now.
Road down here, we can...
They're currently driving through the thick of it in Ada. They're right now on the southwest side of Ada. They might actually drive up towards the hail core here over the next few minutes. Thank you, Interstate Chief, for the super chat, or Chef, excuse me, for the super chat. Still trying to understand the terminology. What is the dry line? The dry line is basically the divide between very dry and very moist air. That's basically what it is. It's one of those initiators that you can have during the springtime especially, but I mean, it can be all year round, but definitely in the springtime. I'll show you guys an example here tomorrow. But the people that think I say the thick of it as a reference to KSI is actually crazy. This is like the 5th or 6th time that I've said you are in the thick of it, or he's in the thick of it. It is not related to KSI whatsoever. This is a dry line, essentially. So if we look at the dew points here, very sharp divide between dry and moist air. These are your dew points. We got dew points in the low 70s back up in northern Oklahoma tomorrow. And then look at this. We got 40s, 30s, and 20s just to the west of that line. So this is what we call a dry line, which is also where supercells initiate. So we could see several of those tomorrow here in Oklahoma. Yeah, that's generally what we're looking at. Tornado warning does continue for possibly upwards of another 28 minutes. Back over North Texas, most of the severe weather is clearing out of Dallas-Fort Worth. We still have a little bit of severe weather back up near Denton, going up towards Gunter and Sherman, mainly 65-mile-per-hour damaging winds and quarter-sized hail approaching Whitesboro, Route 82 near Gainesville. We also have a surge of wind coming up towards Marietta, I-35, Ardmore, and Dixon. You're in the path of ping-pong ball-sized hail and 60-mile-per-hour damaging winds currently tracking to the north and north-northeast. And yeah, that's really about it. We also have a severe storm west of Killeen that is still going. No tornado risk with this as of right now, but we're watching for quarter-sized hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds to continue to track towards Gatesville and Hamilton. And then no longer any severe warnings for the cluster of storms that is heading in the direction of Tyler, Texas. Definitely wouldn't rule out a spin-up tornado with this as it continues to move towards Tyler and Jacksonville, also heading towards Longview, Texas. And then just southeast of Oklahoma City, still the tornado warning here. Big hail core moving right into Ada as we speak. So some large hails falling in Ada. Stay away from windows and on the lowest floor possible if you are in Ada. And Storm Media again is driving through, potentially going to be coming up on the hail core here in a second on the south side of Ada. Hey, Susan, for the super chat, how's Joplin, Missouri look tonight? I don't think there will be anything really there tonight. If you get anything, it'll be isolated damaging winds, and that'll be late tonight. Stormrunner always likes to drive through the hail cores. They've gone through plenty of hail cores. We'll see if they go through this one. I'm not sure if they are. I mean, they're going up towards Ada, so they might. They're not in it yet, obviously. We haven't heard anything smack their car yet.
Yeah, there's another underpass camper. That's very irritating, guys. Very irritating.
Hey, nobody's under the overpass there. That's a W. This is also Vince's shot just from the outskirts of the storm. He's gone a little bit more out in front of it. He's near Loso. Why in the world did his audio keep playing? What's going on here? Okay, that was weird. Hey, Brandon, for the super chat, my thoughts and prayers are with everybody that was affected by yesterday and last night's weather and who lost their lives. Thank you for your awesome coverage and dedication, Max. I was watching you on my iPad the entire stream. Well, I'm glad I can help, and thank you for the super chat. And yesterday was the deadliest tornado outbreak that we've ever covered. Over 30 fatalities have been confirmed from yesterday, in case you've not already heard. And I believe 24, at least 24 in Kentucky. I think 7 were in Missouri, and we had 2 in Virginia. And yeah, again, it was undoubtedly one of the worst outbreaks we've ever covered. Probably the worst when it came to just purely fatalities. We had over 1,000 storm reports yesterday as well. That is one of the highest amount of storm reports that we've also been live for. We were live pretty much for the entire event. There really wasn't much we missed. I mean, we were there literally the entire time from start to finish when tornadoes started to get going, and then also when, you know, everything was starting to wind down. And unfortunately, I think we got more outbreaks coming up. I think tomorrow, you know, Monday, Tuesday, those could easily be at least severe weather outbreaks, if not more tornado outbreaks. Thank you, Kayla, for the super chat. How's Denison, Texas supposed to look? It's already green skies. I think you guys are chilling in Denison. It's going to be more just a wind threat as this line comes up to you. 60-mile-per-hour winds will be the main concerns. Just stay away from windows, and that's like the biggest thing. Tornado threat, very low. It's not zero, but it's definitely on the lower side of things. Let's see if storm runners get into the hail core yet.
No idea, honestly.
All right, they're actually going southeast now, so they're going away from the hail core.
We're going east. We're due south of Ada right now. We're southeast. We cross that north-south highway 99.
I'm still not ruling out a tornado with this storm. I think it's going to take a little bit more for this thing to get going, but you know, generally speaking, I mean, we still have a hail core again right over Ada. Still a decent amount of lightning here. I'm not seeing anything really imminent, but if we were to get a new tornado, it could try to recycle as it moves towards Stonewall. But I just think generally speaking, this storm is definitely struggling. And it only has a short window at this point. It's going to probably have another hour, if that, to produce a tornado, and then it'll probably be cooked. Thank you, Lexa, for the super chat. How's Ardmore looking tonight? Ardmore will be mainly a wind threat. 60-mile-per-hour winds coming up towards you. Tornado threat is pretty close to zero since this is just a left-moving area of storm activity. So main threat will be damaging winds around 60. Also, they have just canceled the tornado warning for Ada, so that is no longer ongoing, but we are still talking about 70-mile-per-hour damaging winds and ping-pong ball-sized hail moving through the town of Ada over the next few minutes. Still a chance that this tries to produce a tornado as it heads towards Colgate and Atoka. So we're back over in Colgate or Atoka. Definitely continue to stay weather aware as this storm moves down to the southeast. It is still a pretty impressive looking supercell. And definitely not ruling out a tornado. There's a lot of contamination here, but I still wouldn't rule out something as it continues to move southeast. If the other radar site has anything here. Yeah, it looks pretty contaminated right now. Looks like storm runner's getting out in front of it right now. Thank you, Interstate, for another super chat. Appreciate that. Thank you, Glenn and Matthew, for the super chats. How's Dallas, Texas? If you're in Dallas, I think you're chilling. I think you're chilling in Dallas. Let me do the future radar here as well. We'll do the future radar run through here real quick. Might as well. This is our latest HRRR model run here for tonight. So by 8 to 9 o'clock, storms are going to continue to move east through areas like Tyler, Shreveport, southeast Oklahoma, even near Fort Smith. That's probably where the supercell is going to end up going towards, is likely in the direction of Fort Smith. If not, maybe a bit further down to the south. By around 10 to 11 o'clock, these storms will continue to move to the east. Just a large cluster moving across Arkansas, Louisiana, and East Texas. Mainly with a wind threat, a little bit of hail still possible, and a low tornado risk. The HRRR also has another cluster of storms forming right around midnight tonight near Oklahoma City. This could be a concern when it comes to hail and wind. I think the tornado risk is very low out of that activity, and by the overnight hours, that is fizzling out into more just a weak line of storms with a little bit of wind and hail left over. And then we'll have plenty of storms also overnight tonight across Missouri and Arkansas, but none of these look that significant. I mean, it'll be mostly just isolated damaging winds and a low hail risk. And then tomorrow, again, is really up in the air right now. We could have a very significant day, though, of severe weather tomorrow, especially across Oklahoma and as well as Kansas, and possibly even parts of Texas once again. Storm runners now just getting out in front of this storm. Or losing signal a little bit. Vince actually has some high winds. I don't know if Vince's signal is going to stay in here, but you can kind of see the trees swaying quite a bit here. This is on the leading edge of this storm. Winds are definitely picking up where Vince is at. But keep him bottom middle since he has low connection. John says in the chat, I have 3 cans of spaghetti and an 8-pack of 4 Locos in Denver. I'm in my shelter. Am I cooked? I think you're all right in Denver. I'm not going to lie. Thank you, Wyatt, for the super chat as well. Appreciate that. I think you'll be all right, John, over there in Denver. I'll be honest. Let's go back over to Storm Runner.
Right, not too far behind you.
Storm Runner's now punching up towards that area of maybe a little bit of rotation. I don't think there's much left here, but that is where he's driving to right now. As a reminder, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe down below. Don't forget to click the bell icon as well so you're notified with the latest live streams and forecasts. We will have a video, by the way, tomorrow morning before the big severe weather event tomorrow, and I think we'll have a video pretty much every single day, to be honest. Should also have a live stream tomorrow afternoon. Thank you, Interstate, for another $20 super chat. One more thing. Thank you. I broadcast this to a few truckers, and I know, as being on the road myself, your information is very useful. And also tell them to never get under the overpasses. I got your back. Very unsafe. I do agree. Then you also take 5 for the super chat. How's Dallas Fort Worth looking through the next few days? I think it will be mostly wind and hail for the next couple of days, and then by Tuesday things are clearing out. Actually got Tornado Pagey coming up on this storm as well right now. They're coming in, I think. They're coming in from the southeast.
Just go downhill, cross the
A little different of a spot here. The lush trees. Once they get out in front of these trees, I think we'll go back to them. This is Connor, who's apparently getting a car wash right now.
I don't think so.
We got 22,000 people watching Connor get a car wash. Thank you, Jake, for the super chat. Do you think Wichita Falls, Texas will be good? Yeah, I think you guys are good now. At least for tonight. This is a better view here from the southeast side of our supercell here that's still producing now 2-inch sized hail, 70-mile-per-hour winds. They've actually added a tornado possible label to the supercell as well.
Disappointing. Look at this outflow, guys.
Yeah, this is the outflow winds. This is basically the winds out in front of our supercell. Winds picking up here. Hey, W for the super chat. What got me interested in meteorology? I've been in meteorology since I was 3 years old. Started all by watching the Weather Channel. When I was 3.
Is that a tree?
That is a tree.
Oh.
Alright, we just lost them.
Don't go away.
Yeah, again, what we're looking at on radar right now, this is like the inflow. This is our outflow boundary. It's still pretty outflowy. Got a large outflow out in front of our supercell. If this supercell can somehow catch up to the outflow over the next hour or two, there's a chance that this thing could go tornadic again, but it really has to catch up to this outflow. Otherwise, just outflow dominant. It's mostly going to be an RFD surge or just gusty winds out in front of this. As it continues to move towards Central Homa, Tupelo, my boys. Colgate, eventually going towards Atoka. We also have a new severe warning back over near Sherman, Texas, Denison, and Whitesboro. That is for 60-mile-per-hour damaging winds and quarter-sized hail. This is currently tracking to the northeast, going towards Kingston and Durant in Oklahoma. And no longer any severe warning south of Dallas-Fort Worth, aside from the one west of Killeen. Thank you, Jet Engine, for the super chat. What are the total tornadoes from yesterday? We won't really know the exact number. If I had to take a guess, though, we're probably we at least had 24 if I had to guess. We had 30 total reports, so probably at least had a couple dozen. And a lot of, almost every one of them was like significant, like at least strong, if not intense or violent. Thank you, Don, for the super chat. The cars parked under the overpass yesterday made the news. How do I send you the link? You can send it to me on Twitter at MaxVelocityWX. Back over to Tornado Pagey and the wind surge here near Stonewall. Turning around and positioning again.
No, those ice storm chasers for emergency. Emergency. They should light it down and take care of it. I know, right? I know. We can hit.
Is Riley here? Riley is here. Rumor has it there's no information to relay. So. He's just chilling.
You want me to yell out? Yeah.
After and a little longer here.
Back over to Connor. Actually, a decent structure shot on the backside of the storm.
Oh, my fries. It's kind of funny. My fries were actually back this morning at Whataburger. They took the box upside down, so I went to go.
So I think it actually might be trying again.
Flying out, and I really thought.
You know, it has a chance. I think it has another chance to do something here. Got a hook on it. The outflow is being caught up to. This actually might try again. And velocities are really contaminated right now, but it's definitely trying to organize again. I think it has a chance. It's starting to clear out a little bit. Becoming more discreet again. Had a couple updrafts for a while. Didn't look very organized. Looked very rough on radar. Has a chance. I'll give it like a 30% chance it tries to produce another tornado here in the next 20-30 minutes, going towards Colgate, just southwest of Kiowa. We don't really have any sort of definitive wall cloud or anything quite yet. We're keeping an eye on all the different storm chasers that are on this. I know Vince is on the leading edge of this. Let's see if Vince...
At least this road's not too bad. We're almost to Lula.
See if Vince has anything to relay here. He's on the the most east on this right now. He's just east of the hook that's developed on radar.
Probably 3645, right in there.
Not seeing anything yet. It still looks kind of elevated. Hey, Zohan for the super chat. How do you do? The Michigan Storm's been into Storm Chaser since Reed Timmer and the Tornado Intercept Vehicle, or TIV for short. Seeing your channel has respawned my interest in weather again. I'm glad I can help. Spark your interest. I think Storm Runner. They have low signal. They're driving through some high winds right now in the hook. Fortunately, though, they have low signal. I'm gonna go back to them in a second.
Yeah, it's already had several attempts at initiation, and it just updrafts have been so skinny they just die.
All right, Storm Runner's back, and now they're not. Never mind.
They've got a tree down in the road, anything though. Everybody has low connection right now. Storm Runner had high winds, and I think they still do. They're still just kind of low connection right now. Can you write where each feed is? We're gonna have that in the future. We're gonna have everybody have their like location on the actual like name of their thing in the near future. We haven't had time to set it up. Like we've been trying to work on it, but we just have literally had no time with all the outbreaks and stuff to set that stuff up. So all the chasers will have like locations and stuff on here. Latest radar scan still showing a large little hook on this storm and a strong inflow. I mean, again, it's just a little outflowy still. If this can catch up to the outflow boundary, we could get another tornado going towards Kiowa, Atoka, and Colgate. Storm's still tracking to the southeast. The velocities, again, still very contaminated. So it's not currently producing a tornado, and I still think it's going to take some time, but I definitely could here in the near future. Very ominous skies here on the back side of the hook. Hey, Jace for the super chat. I think a lot of wind and hail and low, definitely a tornado potential, Jace, for the Okmulgee area. I mean, you have a threat of severe weather pretty much every day, between even today all the way through Monday.
That's a mean hook right now. What the?
Hey, Christina for becoming a member. Welcome to the Velocities. Heads up, if you're in Texas, they just upgraded the severe warning back over in northern Texas near Sherman and Denison to 70-mile-per-hour winds. That includes Whitesboro, Sherman, just west of Denison, south of Kingston. So that has been upgraded to 70-mile-per-hour winds. That is a considerable damage threat. Let's go back over to Connor here. And they also issued a new severe warning for Colgate, Atoka, Gertie, and Ashland, Oklahoma, bottom right of your screen. It's the supercell that we're currently looking at here for 2-inch size tail, 70-mile-per-hour damaging winds. Hey, Jet Engine for becoming a maximum velocity member. Do you show the bats? I don't think the bats are happening yet. Like, it's still about an hour away.
Over there.
Have I ever been to a weather exhibit thing? Like a pretend to be a meteorologist thing? I mean, I haven't done a pretend to be a meteorologist thing, but I have gone to actual weather studios, so I guess that's an exhibit, but it's a more elaborate one and it's actually real. Like, I've gone to plenty of weather studios. Actually, if you guys didn't see, I was actually at Fox 35 in Orlando about a week ago with Noah Berggren. They're actually redoing their studio right now.
I feel like we got a bit of a clear slot to the left here at DL Garrett.
Storm might be trying to gear up for another tornado here soon. I mean, see if we can get a clear view beyond these trees. Storm has actually been speeding up a little bit. It's moving east. It's still in southeast about 25-30 miles per hour. Hey, Don, for becoming a member.
Trying to drive, I think, in there.
Max was on the BBC radio over here. I was on a BBC show the other day. Called the media show.
I'm gonna try and get it all the way out by, say, either 75 or Kiowa.
Yeah, there's 2 on me. Never been stopped by 2.
You're cooked, buddy.
Wait, is Storm Runner cooked? Storm Runner still doesn't have connection. They're in the middle of the hook echo right now. They just don't have connection. Hey, Derek, for the super chat.
One being stopped. That is really funny.
Monday could be a big day. I mean, any of the next 3 days could be big.
Pretty dark up here.
In my opinion, today I had really little chance of actually being big, other than hail and wind. But tomorrow, and as well as Monday and Tuesday, all look like they could be big. So here's a little bit better of a view of our storm. Got a little bit more clearing out here. Still low clouds on the left. Let's look at a large hook here on the bottom right. More of a surge of wind right now, but the rotation might be trying to gear up a little bit here. Storm Runner's in the middle of the hook, and they just don't have connection. And Vince is currently positioning. Vince is starting to get some high winds. This is Vince. He's on the east side of the hook. You can see the wind picking up a little bit from the outflow. Still a little outflowy right now. Driving through some trees.
I feel like it's kind of wild that they don't have this thing torn.
I definitely could see there being a tornado warning issued for this in a moment. I mean, velocities bottom right don't look crazy, but I think there might be something just trying to form near JD and Lula. Still a large hook echo on this thing. It's just a little bit outflowy still, but it has a chance.
Like 55 and a 55, they're going to speed limit.
It's back to live radar. A large hook reaching out. This is your outflow boundary. As long as it stays a bit more outflowy, the chance of a tornado will stay low, but if it can still latch onto this outflow, there's a better chance of it producing a tornado. Again, if it were to, it's going to be coming up on Centrahoma, Colgate, Stringtown, Lehigh, Atoka, southwest of Kiowa, and eventually going towards Antlers, Raton as well. Back over near Sherman and Gainesville, we still have a significant storm here, producing 70-mile-per-hour damaging winds, in addition to quarter-sized hail moving towards the Red River Valley. That's also going up towards Kingston and Durant, just south of Medill. Also, just south of Ardmore, we also have a severe warning there for quarter-sized hail and 60-mile-per-hour damaging winds. Nothing severe right now in East Texas. It's just a large cluster of storms with gusty winds and frequent lightning. And then no longer any severe weather in Central Texas. We still have a couple of storms back over in western Mississippi, but mostly just a little bit of hail before those weaken out as they approach Jackson. Thank you, Zach, for becoming a member. Storm Runner's back.
I just don't know if I want to add an hour.
Positioning. Let's go back over to Storm Runner.
My stream is so.
We're on the south side of the hook.
My stream is so cooked. I have not had a stream this bad in so long. Connection-wise, horrible.
I'm let John out. He goes, oh, we're allowed 5 over, but not 20 over.
You get a ticket?
Negative. Just verbal.
Not work. Ryan, thank you for the super chat.
No, I know.
Hey, Taylor, for the super chat.
Oh, wow.
You think Springfield, Missouri will get hit hard on Monday? Maybe a moderate risk? I think we're going to get a moderate risk on Monday.
The real question is, why were you randomly going 20 over?
I would be surprised if we didn't get a moderate risk on Monday, to be honest.
I'm not in a rush.
They didn't issue it in today's outlook. I think once confidence grows on storm mode and stuff, we'll get a moderate risk.
Paying attention to the speed limit there, because that's even what I told him. Like,
Hey, John, for becoming a member.
Like, if I know I'm speeding and I know how fast I'm going, like, I'm going to tell you, and I'm going to be honest about it. But, like, this time I literally had to say, like, I do not know how fast I was going, so please tell me.
Vince in the middle of this? Yeah, Vince is in the middle of the hook now and he has no signal. It looks outflowy again. It was trying to come together here over the last couple minutes. This is back to radar. So we got the large hook, got an inflow, but this is the outflow boundary right here. And as long as this outflow keeps pushing out, this thing's going to struggle to produce a tornado. You can see right in that hook too, that's a lot of just winds going away from the radar. Those are your velocities going away from the radar, being measured upwards of 60 to 70 miles per hour. So we definitely have high winds right now going in the direction of Highway 69 and Atoka, just southwest of Kiowa. But odds of a tornado, it still exists if this storm can catch up to the outflow. And we're going to stay alive as long as that is a possibility here. Back over in North Texas, we still have a surge of wind coming up on Sherman right now. Big wind threat if you're in Sherman. 70 mile per hour damaging winds are likely over the next few minutes near Southmaid, going up towards Millwood, Pottsboro, Denison, and on the west side of Sherman. So stay away from windows. If you are in this severe thunderstorm warning, there's also a boatload of lightning heading up towards the Red River Valley, going towards Durant, Kingston, and then eventually Caddo and Bennington in southern Oklahoma. And if you're in Dallas-Fort Worth, I think the severe thunderstorm watch will probably be canceled here soon for most of the DFW Metroplex, mainly off to the west of Dallas. Riley has an update. Go ahead, Riley.
Hey, Max, if you want to pull up satellite on Radar Omega, actually, interestingly enough, this storm that we're talking about in Oklahoma right now, if you go outside in Cape Girardeau, Missouri, you can probably see the overshooting top of the storm. We have a lot of wind shear today, so it's just taken the top of the storm and it has thrown it all the way almost into Illinois at this point.
Thank you, Riley, for the update. I'm trying to pull up satellite here just so we have a loop. Give me 1 second. So yeah, this is what it looks like on satellite here. And you can see the overshooting top literally making it all the way over there to Cape Girardeau. So if you're watching right now from Missouri, you actually might see part of this storm. Just kind of crazy. That gives you an idea how strong the winds are also aloft, pushing all those high-level clouds off to the east. And so all of that is being pushed off to the east, and it's literally making its way right now to Cape Girardeau. Some of this is not part of the storm, but this right here is all part of the storm right here. It's reaching all the way out towards even almost making it to the Mississippi River Valley right now, so that's pretty crazy. And almost all the storms that have formed in North Texas, too, if you see these storms, are all right in this area here. And if we look over the last several, minutes here, you see how the clouds have made it all the way towards Memphis. So if you're watching anywhere back out here to the east, you'll probably see at least some of those high clouds from our supercell. Doesn't mean you're really going to see much, but definitely wouldn't rule out a little bit. You might hear a clap of thunder. It definitely wouldn't rule that out if we get enough of a positive and negative charge. All right.
Yeah, it's really dark up here.
Go back to Tornado Pagey here. They are starting to catch up to this now. Actually, back to Connor. Hey, Taylor, for becoming a member. Welcome to the Velocities.
Gotta get up in this thing here. 9 miles, I go north.
Congrats on the degree, appreciate it. I'm officially meteorologist, Max Velocity. We're back down to 3 severe thunderstorm warnings. This might be the lowest amount of severe warnings we've been live for in a long time. I don't know the last time that we're only live for 3 warnings, I'm not gonna lie.
Nice shot.
Feels like it's been a while.
Needs to get a little more mass. This last one, when it produced, it was just a big corkscrew. It was fairly skinny.
How do you keep track of all the feeds of the storm chasers? We have a program that basically has all the chasers on a thing that we can just look at.
That's all.
Basically all it is. Like a lot of news stations have stuff like it too, where it's just like a big program with like 20 boxes and has all sorts of different camera views and stuff like that. So, basically what it is. And the storms off here in the middle of your screen, they are both just south of the hook right now. Still a hook on this storm. Looks pretty much to the point where it's a low chance of a tornado, but definitely watching for hail and wind as it continues to move southeast here in southeastern Oklahoma. Is DFW done for the night? Yeah, I think DFW is pretty much done. North of DFW, you're not done yet, though. Hey, Taylor, for the super chat, do you think Springfield, Missouri will get hit hard on Monday? Moderate risk. I already answered that. I answered that earlier, but I do think moderate risk will probably be issued. Joplin, probably going to have at least some level of severe weather. We'll have a more detailed video in the morning about it. I kind of want to wait for some of the computer models to come in first to get a better sense of what we're going to be seeing on Monday before drawing conclusions early. Vince has actually a pretty good view of this supercell. If he gets past these trees here, you might see it. You'll see it a little bit better. He had a good view here a second ago. The trees have been the biggest problem with this storm. There it is. Pretty ominous skies here. Looks pretty elevated. Let's see if we can see anything. I can't see any clear lowering or anything. But if we have one, it's going to be more in the middle left. Hey, Louie, for the super chat. As a truck driver, thanks for keeping me safe through these storms this year. Every time there's severe weather, I always tune into these streams. I appreciate that. And thank you for the super chat. We will not. Somebody asked in the chat if we're going to be live for the Oklahoma City storms around 11. I highly doubt it. I mean, if there's something that is significant and, you know, there's something to go live for, we could always do another live stream. But I don't think those storms tonight are going to be that crazy. I think it'll be mostly wind and hail.
I know, you guys are getting a reflection. I'm sorry.
Durant is very bad. I wouldn't say Durant's really bad. Connor's going to view the storm now.
Took a shot of.
Pretty ominous skies. Thank you, Tim, for becoming a member. Durant right now, we don't even actually have a severe warning for, like, Durant. It's just a special weather statement, bottom right of your screen. Mainly going to be gusty winds, a little bit of small hail. Back over in Sherman, though, we do have 70-mile-per-hour winds on the west side of town, so... I would say if you're in Durant, definitely be ready for high winds.
Looks like that's probably the one. It's just the precipits
Got in the way.
falling out ahead.
Is there another audio playing? I keep clicking buttons and it does this. There we go. This is back to Storm Intermediate 2.
Falling out ahead of the updraft, which is why
Storm is still producing 2-inch sized hail, 70-mile-per-hour damaging winds, tracking to the southeast.
It doesn't look like I'm that.
So we're blasting east on State Highway 3. Either going to go north on 75 or probably going to go northeast, a little bit east of 75.
Are you going to stay with us for
This is kind of sus.
I think something.
Go back to radar.
Materialize over
I'll leave that up to you.
Little sus action on the backside of the supercell. See this right here, and we actually have like another little like thing developing on the backside of this. Let me look at the base velocities. Curious if this is actually rotating or not. This actually has like a little bit of rotation on it. West of Citro. This is like on the backside of the supercell. Definitely have to keep an eye on that. It's not really moving at all. Just west of Gertie, east of Ada. It's really not moving, but something to keep an eye on. Also, this storm is moving now southeast at about 40 miles per hour. Keep in mind, this thing was not moving that fast a few minutes ago. It was like 25 miles per hour. Now it's up to 40. It's definitely sped up quite a bit here. Thank you, Larry, for becoming a member. Thank you also, Vibing, for the super chat. It's time for another vibe check. What is up with these vibe checks? Back over to Vince.
Alright.
Wait and see what the surface base velocities look like on that northwestern, like, little look.
It's
See
just,
if
it's great. It's ironic.
see if there's
You
actually
think
any
the storm
legit chance of
chasers
that
would be the
producing
ones
something.
that are like the most experienced at driving in severe weather. So you'd think they would always be the most capable drivers, but no. And before Twitter tries to cancel.
Back over to Storm Intermedia.
We're 54 miles from Hugo.
Yeah. I just paid my ticket off from the
Storm Intermedia is a little bit further east.
I don't know if I want to. If we want to.
Honestly, we are just vibing here. I mean, we're just kind of waiting to see if anything does produce.
We can bail whenever you want
or gets close to it.
Because this highway right
Yeah, I'm not really convinced on that like little hook that's developing west of Gertie. I think it's more of just, it's just more of another updraft or something. It's very slow moving too.
You would be correct. I'm not looking forward to turning around though.
Hey Dan, for becoming a member, welcome to the Velocities.
One hell of a headwind.
I just say we stop on 75, look at it, and then we just go back.
Yeah, it looks like there's
While we wait for something to happen here, Riley's gone ahead and made a incredible drawing. Looks absolutely terrible. Another Supercell. This one's leveled up. It has colors this time. Do we have another merch drop coming? Thank you, JC, for becoming a member. Welcome to the Velocities. Go OU. I do have an OU shirt, by the way, on. I'm not... this was not intentional, by the way, today, but I am wearing an OU shirt. Not intentional. It has nothing to do with today's severe weather event at all. It literally was just... It was just there. I just have it.
right now and headed back to OKC or somewhere. Yeah, I'm gonna drop Sierra off and then I'm gonna continue chasing this nighttime threat. The day has just begun. Yeah, Freddie, if you're looking for a hotel that's not like 150 plus, 200 plus, your best bet is El Reno. Alright, copy that. Wait, is OKC like going crazy? OKC is not, it's not great.
Thank you, Ron, for the super chat. Thank you for all you do. And I can't read. Thank you for all you do and for all you did last night. My mother was watching your stream from Northern Kentucky. Keep up the great work. I appreciate that. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you, Haley, also for the super chat.
Alright, copy. I appreciate the heads up.
I don't know what that means, but thank you for the super chat.
So if he thinks he can get up here and intercept it, no reason we can't.
New severe thunderstorm warning for this supercell. Just gonna be for or actually we have a couple new ones. We got a new one for Kiowa just south of Savannah for $half sized hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds, and we also have another severe thunderstorm warning that has just been issued for, I believe, this supercell. Or wait, no, that was 20 minutes ago. Never mind. All right, that's the only new severe warning. The other warning that is on the supercell right now goes for another 20 minutes. Still got a little hook. Again, I don't know if there's really much of a chance this thing's gonna produce, but we're still keeping an eye on it. Vince is just behind this. And you can see the crazy little structure here. Still very outflowy. The outflow boundary is kind of just shaped, kind of arced across the screen here. And Connor's right now driving up towards the hook. I'll try to refresh it because it didn't work. There we go. So Connor's driving up towards the hook right now. Stormrunner is too. Stormrunner actually has a view here of the mesocyclone.
I forgot you guys were on the side camera.
I click the button.
Right now, about to jump on 40.
That's a view from just underneath that hook there.
Are you sure? I'm 85 miles from El Reno right now. Like,
Riley. Hey, Marty, for becoming a member, or for the super chat. Appreciate that.
48 miles.
Lost power in Denison. Hopefully it comes back soon. The winds are definitely no joke down there. Around 70 miles per hour. Speaking of wind, we also got a new warning for those in Tishomingo, Mill Creek, Medill, and Kingston. That is for 60-mile-per-hour damaging winds and also $half sized hail. And then the storm back over near Sherman and Denison is currently producing 70-mile-per-hour winds. Very low tornado risk again with anything over here. I think that's just more contaminated, but more of a wind threat right now near Sherman coming up on Denison. Power outage is definitely going to be a possibility. Riley has an update. Go ahead, Riley.
Hey Max, we just got confirmation of our St. Louis tornado yesterday. The rating on that, it was a EF3 with winds of up to 151 miles per hour. It looks like we had 2 or 3 different EF3 and damage indicators with this tornado. The path length is at least 8 miles, if not more. They still need to complete the survey across the river, but we do know that it started in Clayton at 2:41 p.m. yesterday.
All right, thank you, Riley, for the update. This is what the tornado path was. It was on the northwest side of St. Louis near Richmond Heights is where it began. And then once it got to the river, it occluded out. But it definitely produced a lot of damage here just on the west and north side of St. Louis. Again, this was one of the more populated areas we've had under a PDS tornado warning in quite some time. We will be able to show you probably some photos here in just a few minutes of the damage. We're going to try to get some of those photos up here in just a moment, so stay tuned for that. And I would assume that the damage is... I mean, we already saw a lot of the damage yesterday, but I would have to assume the damage is definitely, you know, on the more significant side of things. Got a lot of trees, lots of power lines down, and thousands of homes were damaged in St. Louis. Thank you, Mike, for the super chat. Thanks for your diligence on these storms. Hopefully today remains somewhat chill. Yeah, I mean, today is definitely a bit more chill. It's a lot more chill than yesterday. We've had one tornado so far.
Very close to get some ice cream from there.
Did you say he's getting ice cream? We actually got a a hail spike here, popping up on radar just south of Kiowa. We got a huge hail core on this storm. Holy cow! Look at this thing. It's a huge hail spike right here near Ashland. This could easily be baseballs right now falling near 75. I do wonder if any of these chasers are going to drive into this thing. That is huge hail. Got a 3-body scatter spike here near Highway 69 and Highway 131 just south of Kiowa. That CC drop again is not a tornado. That is just huge hail. It's coming up on Kiowa. So we'll see if anybody drives into the hail core and samples the hail.
And I just
I don't like where it's heading
intervened and broke up a domestic, so that's fun. The hell was that? So I'm coming down 1550 here over by Paul's Valley, and I see this gal get out of a minivan and like slam the door. And I'm like, oh, somebody's sleeping on the couch tonight. And then I just continue because I'm like, well, maybe they'll figure it out. Well, she started walking away from him, and he turned his minivan around and started gunning it for her. And then he got out and started racing over towards her. So I said, So I flipped back around, and I just got on the PI. I said, you better go your separate way right now. And he...
Hey, Wolves, for the super chat. Appreciate that. T-shirts are worn on a rotational schedule. They are. I mean, I wear about 12 different T-shirts probably, maybe 14. I have a variety of T-shirts, I gotta say. I do have a variety. With that said, I do tend to, you know, for the most part, wear like 7 of the same T-shirts. The OU one is one of them. It's comfortable.
Like, what was it, 2016, I want to say it was after Hurricane Hermine. Me and I was
you have one tornado in Baltimore as well? Yeah, we would actually, there's a website that we were trying to look at for all the damage photos and stuff, but for some reason, nobody can connect to it. I don't know what's going on. Nothing happened on there. Thank you, Mezzo Melissa, for becoming a VIP Velocity member. Really appreciate that. Where's Freddy when you need him? Freddy is actually chasing. He's not live for some reason, but he is chasing. Freddie McKinney is literally right here, and he's coming up on the hail core. He might be driving towards the hail core right now. I do wonder if he's actually going to go live or something, but I'm going to message him and see if he'll stream so we can actually see him.
Knoxville police showed up at force, and they're like, do you know that guy was armed? I was like, no. And they're like, oh, yeah, well, he could have killed you. And I was like, well, it's good he didn't.
Alrighty, chat, we are headed back west. We did our time with that storm.
Thank you, Deb, for the very generous $50 super chat. Really appreciate that. Thanks for all your work late into the night last night. I'm sure that you saved at least one life with all your warnings and urging people to call relatives in the area. Well, last night, for sure. Last night was definitely a... I mean, like late last night when we had a tornado literally after, like, you know, sunset was the most concerning thing, especially in an area that we had a large tornado on and the warning didn't get upgraded for some time. So That was 100% one of the most concerning storms we had yesterday. And that one ended up at least, you know, killing 23 people. So hopefully we were able to help some people in that area. Thank you, Randy, for becoming a member. Thank you also, Jared, for the super chat. Freddie was having troubles with streaming. Oh, is that what it is? Okay. I got you. I have not gotten a message from him, but
Not too concerned.
this happens sometimes. Oh, Freddy's actually way back off to the west. What, the war? Oh, did it glitch maybe? Might have bugged out. I have no clue. I just bugged out on the map. 30 minutes till sus hour? I mean, sus hour's already begun. I think we're already past sus hour, to be honest. Back over to Tornado Pagey. A little inflow tail still going in the storm here. Huge hail core once again just north of Colgate.
Starling.
Oh, okay.
Are they in the... Oh, they're gonna be in the hail core, I think.
No.
They're on Highway 131. They might just, like...
Destruct.
This warning just got upgraded to baseball-sized hail.
Well, if you're on 69...
They actually might end up getting... They might actually end up having some huge hail on this. Again, there's baseball-sized hail right now, and they're located right about here. So they're like in the track of this really destructive hail. The one problem is their Starlink dish went out yesterday, so the connection isn't as good. But, you know, this is a huge hail core coming up towards Kiowa and 69, and they're about to be intercepting a massive hail core. I mean, this baseball-sized hail at least, if not maybe larger than that. Currently tracking towards Highway 69. They're right now underneath the hail core.
You
But they're going to be in the next couple minutes.
Getting out?
No! No! It's if the windshield explodes. Goggles aren't gonna save you with a 80-mile-an-hour baseball.
All right. Here goes nothing. I think they're literally just going to sit here and have the hail come right over top of them. So I know you guys can't see them on the map, but they are literally right in the path of the hail core. Like, they position themselves to be destroyed by hail. They landed for the super chat.
I have...
They're debating it, are they?
31.
Hey, you only live once, YOLO.
We're gonna have to go there. I don't think we can make it up to there. Just sit right here for just another minute or two.
That's like a pretty... Is that a toilet? Or just a broad?
No, there was a couple. Is that right there?
Yeah. It's really high base.
And we are just... the hail core will be hitting 131 in the next few minutes. Look at the hail shaft, by the way. Look how white it is. Huge hail shaft right there.
It's got a lot of work to do.
Yeah.
Maybe to do that.
Huge hail shaft on this thing.
Maybe.
And we'll pop out.
It's at least baseball-sized hail.
This looks funny.
Coming up to Kiowa.
Looks like there's a lot of stuff in front of it.
Yeah. I just got that.
Both of them.
Yeah.
Whoa. That was close.
We're right into the wires.
3 body scatter spike. Wayne. Time to get in the car. They are in the car. Just the windows down. What's for dinner tonight? I actually have no clue. Since we don't have a full-blown outbreak tonight, I can actually get, like, something decent, probably. Maybe some IHOP. I didn't get IHOP yesterday. Let's do an IHOP fund. Looks like a nice little Volkswagen there on the left.
Oh my lord. Some hail.
Max, are you currently in Oklahoma? No. I mean, we're looking at an Oklahoma storm, but like, we're not. I don't live in Oklahoma. Alright, looks like they're gonna be driving away from the hail for now.
Thing it just formed out in front.
That's what it looks like again on radar right now. Large hail core right now near Ashland, coming up on 131. And again, we had a 3-body scatter spike a moment ago, which is an indicator of very large hail. You can see how white it got and black. That is a very large hail core. Likely baseball plus sized hail there, around 31 now, moving towards 69. Just south of Kiowa. So they're currently positioning. They might end up just going into this hail core. We'll see. But they're right now, I think, on Highway 131. Yeah, they're just northeast of Colgate on Highway 131. So they're basically in the path of this if they end up staying there. Hey, Don, for the super chat. Appreciate that. We're doing an IHOP fund on today's stream. I want to DoorDash it, that's the thing. Hey, Crystal, excuse me for the super chat. I'm watching from Chicago. I'm at Culver's right now. We have somebody tuning in from Culver's. That's something. Hey, Roger, for the $20 super chat. Appreciate that. Back down to the south of this big supercell, we also got a lot more other storms coming. If you're back over near Atoka or Caddo or Durant, 60-mile-per-hour damaging winds and up to half-dollar sized hail currently penetrating to the northeast. We'll be producing the threat again for hail and wind over the next hour or two. The tornado threat is fairly low. And then back over in Dallas-Fort Worth, again, we're mostly clearing out. I think the severe watch will probably be canceled here soon for most of North Texas. Bulk of our severe storms that are ongoing are no longer even in North Texas. We have a couple strong ones going towards Paris and then a few other severe ones that are heading on the direction of Longview, Texas. This will be mainly a wind threat, low tornado risk as that goes towards Shreveport, Vivian, Marshall, and also going towards Lone Star. And then also, if you're in Killeen and Waco, you're no longer in the severe watch. So that's a W. You're no longer in the watch. Once again, destructive baseball-sized hail is heading towards Kiowa, Oklahoma right now. Tornado Pagey is currently en route to potentially intercept this hail. Again, they're heading towards 69, Kiowa, and eventually tracking towards Clayton, and then very rural areas after this of southeastern Oklahoma in the path of that in the near term. South of McAllister right now, good amount of lightning, big hail core again right now located south of Ashland. So we'll see if they end up intercepting that big hail. Thank you, Alia, for becoming a member. Welcome to Velocities. Does W stand for waffles? Because you should order waffles. Waffles aren't even that, like, I feel like waffles are kind of overrated. I'm not going to lie. I feel like they're a little overrated. Culver's is addicting? Yeah. I agree. It can be. Somebody said, wow, unsubbed. Wow. That's not very nice. Alright, looks like their connection's back. And they're just out in front of this hail core right now. They might actually just be intercepting it. I think they're driving up to it. I could be wrong. Their location tracker right now is right about 1.5 miles southeast of the hail core. French toast? French toast is amazing. French toast is literally amazing. Low-key, French toast is goated. Just my take on it. It is goated. Hey, Timothy for the super chat. Thank you, Rico, for becoming a Maximum Velocity member. We're about to hit 50 members in today's stream. W. Appreciate all the members on the channel. It's one of the best ways to support our channels by becoming a member. If you want to become a member of the channel, you can click the join button down below, or it is the top link in the description below. Without your support, we wouldn't be able to do everything that we do on this channel, including having all the storm chasers we have with all the inside information, all that good stuff. Thanks, now I'm hungry. I'm not gonna lie though, like, waffles don't sound bad right now, even though they're overrated. But French toast is way better than both pancakes and waffles. Do people actually believe weather live streamers control the weather? You didn't know we control the weather? We got the device to fire up storms when we want. USMC for the super chat. Appreciate that. French toast is really good, but it's only at certain places. Most places, I feel like, don't have good French toast. But like, there's a couple local places I've gone to in the past that have really good French toast. Hey, you live for the super chat. Is this a cooking show? I mean, we could make it a cooking show. It would be a bad cooking show. I'm not good at cooking. I'm gonna be honest. Hey, Mad Storm for the super chat. Pancakes or waffles? I'll go with pancakes. Hey, Shamrock for becoming a member. Crystal for the super chat. I used to work at Culver's. Here's your sign to get Culver's tonight. I'm not getting Culver's. If I'm getting anything, it's going to be more decent than Culver's. Did you read Connor's tweet? Do I want to read Connor's tweet? Oh man! All right, yeah, that is a tweet. We got some interesting. We got some interesting tweets on Twitter right now. We got Paige coming in with this over in Colgate, Oklahoma. This is the chaser stuff that's going on tonight. We got a lot of interesting stuff happening. I'll not show what Connor tweeted. A lot of chaser stuff in the last couple days. The severe thunderstorm warning here has been, we actually have a new severe thunderstorm warning for Cole and Atoka counties in Oklahoma. That is for tennis ball sized hail and 70 mile per hour winds. It is a considerable threat. That is just going to be an extension to the supercell that we've been looking at here over the last few minutes. No longer destructive baseball sized hail, but still producing tennis ball sized hail. French vanilla ice cream. That actually sounds good. It's Sonic? Bro, Sonic, I had Sonic. I'm not even kidding. I had Sonic like a week ago. It was terrible. I think they're back. I don't know yet. They're on the bottom right. Their connection should be back here in a second. I think they are probably going to intercept this hail core. It's not super big. Hey, Jupiter for the super chat. Sonic has good, yeah, Sonic does have good ice cream in my opinion. The one big thing I think with Sonic is like, I've gone it multiple times recently, or not multiple, but at least a couple times recently. It's really not good in my opinion. Like I've not found, like, I got like a breakfast burrito, I got tater tots. They were so terrible. The tater tots I got were like so oiled. New mesoscale discussion from the Storm Prediction Center across central, southern, and western Oklahoma. Severe weather threat will likely continue over the next few hours. Large hail, wind damage, and isolated tornado threat will be possible. They are still outlining that hail as large as the size of apples, maybe even up towards softballs is possible. Still a possibility for an isolated strong tornado and then damaging winds up to 70 miles per hour. Also, they did mention back down here in southeastern Oklahoma that a storm merger is likely and may result in increased severe weather threat with wing gusts. We got wing gusts. we got chicken wing gusts coming in above 75 miles per hour back over in southeastern Oklahoma. The severe weather threat will again continue, and then also increasing severe weather threat over the next hour or two west of Oklahoma City. More storms are firing up here pretty soon. Didn't know we could get wing gusts. Well, they're now punching it looks like to something, but their connection's still low. Starting to come into this hail core, looks like. Thank you, Nicole, for the $20 super chat. Alright, they're losing connection still. Put them back on when they're not losing connection. Do the storm chasers know when you have them on stream? Not usually. We just pull them whenever. Hi. My cat just woke up. She's meowing at me. What about Panda Express? Panda Express is like, it's alright, but like, it's not like something I'm really racing to go back for. I got it again recently, and I mean, it's decent. Just kind of like one of those things, like once in a while I'll get it. That's about it. Thank you, Cat and Jay, for the $20 super chat. Killing me with all the food talk. Honestly, like I'm getting more and more hungry the more I talk about food. Thank you, Waco, for the super chat. I catfish king for dinner tonight. Solid. Thank you, Swaggy, also for becoming a member. Is there a Brahms near you? I don't think so. I don't think there's any Brahms in Florida. At least I've never seen any. I have Culver's there. We do have Culver's. Yes, there's Culver's in Florida. I never had Culver's up until actually living in Florida. Even though there were some in Texas when I lived there. We have a couple storms that have fired up back over in southeastern Oklahoma. Or southeastern Kansas, excuse me. But nothing really too crazy here. Just a couple isolated events of some hail and wind possible as those go up towards Humboldt and Lola or Iola. Thank you, Mike, for becoming a member. Hi. What's up, girl? Out of the stream. Out of the stream. Hi. She's now in my lap. Hey. What's up, girl? Have I ever tried Whataburger? Whataburger is like the most overrated place going, I'm gonna be honest. One of the most overrated burger places going. Hey, Mackenzie for the super chat. Cute cat. Cute car. Bro said cute car in the chat. Now do a gritty. This is not a car, this is a cat. Hey, cheese. Have I ever had Wingstop? I've actually never had Wingstop. I've heard people say it's good, but I've never had it. Hey, Christopher, for the very generous $50 super chat. I really appreciate that, Christopher. W's in the chat for Christopher. Watched your live coverage for 6 hours last night. I appreciate that. From Connecticut. I've now lost one of my hands. I'm down to one hand right now. So I only got my hand on my mouse. That's it. New severe thunderstorm watch has just been issued. It's going to be across parts of Texas, Arkansas, Oklahoma, and Louisiana near Shreveport, Texarkana, El Dorado, Tyler, and Longview. The main concerns are going to be hail, wind. Let me get the exact details on the watch here. Nope, it's not out yet. All right. Once I get the details on that watch, I'll let you guys know. Probably going to be mainly a threat for hail up to probably 2 inches in diameter, 70-mile-per-hour winds, and then maybe an isolated tornado. Thank you, David, for becoming a member, and Kaz for the super chat. Next SPC Outlook will be out here in about 10 minutes or less for today, so we'll at least be live through that. Be out here in just a few minutes. Yeah, we officially had an EF1 tornado near Dundalk, Maryland yesterday, so that is official. Well, Tornado Pagey and Bryce, they're both in the middle of the hail core, but they have literally no connection. I think the storm is just too tall for a Starlink. This is 58,000 feet tall. This is a super tall thunderstorm. I didn't realize how tall it was. It's 58,000 feet. This is 58,000 feet tall right now. Just south of Kiowa, Oklahoma. That's massive. Even the one down here just south of Durant, it's up near 60,000 feet. These storms are huge. It's almost as tall as you. Thank you. It is almost as tall as me. Thank you also, Joey, for the super chat. Well, I mean, I literally just talked about it. I mean, like, they're basically 60,000 feet tall. So. What's the tornado threat percentage tonight? Well, it'll be updated here probably in the next 10 minutes. But this is currently the tornado risk outlook for today, which again, this will definitely be changed in the next outlook, which should be out here in a few minutes. It's a large 5% across North Texas, which I never agreed with the North Texas 5%. I really didn't think we'd have anything in North Texas tornadic, like maybe one tornado. Didn't even have it. I don't think we've had anything tornadic in Texas though at all. Oklahoma, I think the 5% was reasonable. I really just think a 2% would have probably been fine today, but I just said the New Hampshire storm looks interesting. Yeah, back over in Manchester, Nashua, and Concord, New Hampshire. We got 60-mile-per-hour damaging winds, a tornado possible label. I think it's going to be mostly wind. Maybe a low tornado risk going towards Raymond, Chester, and Epping, New Hampshire. Generally speaking, though, nothing too crazy here. If we had a tornado, it would be on the weak side of things. Have you ever tried the wing gusts from Popeyes? I've had the Popeyes. I tried the Popeyes wings once, and I didn't think they were that good, but I might have to do it again. They came back. Kind of in the middle of the hail core, but still low connection. The storm is just too tall. I could go for some real Italian food. Honestly, some pasta sounds really good right about now. It's my favorite wing place. I don't really have a favorite wing place. I like Buffalo Wild Wings, but I mean, that's just like a chain. It's more, I don't even think the wings are like amazing. I just think the cheese curds are so good there. Do IHOP for dinner? I think I am doing IHOP for dinner. I think that is the plan. Have I ever seen a tornado in person? I have not. Not yet. Maybe later this year. We're moving our studio in about a few weeks here, and after that happens, then, you know, maybe I'll get to go out chasing maybe an event when there's no need to go live. Why are you live? It's kind of calm. Well, we started the stream today with a tornado, and then the storm almost produced another one. And I honestly thought we'd have a bit more severe weather than we've had today, but it's been kind of chill. I mean, just a little bit more of a chill stream, I guess, today. Tomorrow will probably not be chill. Monday will probably not be chill. Tuesday will probably not be chill. Like, I don't see there being much chill weather here in the near future. It looks very active here over the next 4 days or so. This is the SPC outlook again for tomorrow. And also today we had an enhanced risk, so I usually do go live for enhanced. And it was also Texas, Oklahoma. I almost always go live for Texas, Oklahoma events because this is literally where our channel basically started. So, yeah, I mean, generally speaking, this is the risk outline for tonight. Mostly going to be wind and hail. This is for tomorrow. But wind and hail possible again for tonight. Waiting for the new SPC outlook for tonight. This is what's been. This is tomorrow. Again, strong tornadoes are possible, especially in this region. Could see this grow. Again, potential tornado outbreak tomorrow, depending on storm mode and if storms do fire along our dry line, which is back out here to the west. If storms do fire near our dry line, we could have a significant tornado outbreak tomorrow, but again, confidence on that is low as of right now. And then as we go into Monday, this could be also another outbreak day where significant severe weather is possible across a large chunk of the central and southern plains, with damaging winds, hail, and tornadoes all in play. And then as we go into Tuesday, the risk of severe weather is right back to the Ohio Valley and even into the Dixie Alley, where another threat of a severe weather outbreak is possible with damaging winds, hail, and tornadoes all being a possibility. We got a long stretch of severe weather ahead here. A long stretch. So make sure that you're ready. It's going to be a busy next couple of weeks. Or not couple of weeks, but 4 days. After Tuesday, I think things will get a little bit quieter. For at least a few days. And then after that, it could get active again at the end of May. So really not much slowing down. I mean, the weather's going to continue to stay active, I think, for a while. It will be slightly quieter again at the end of the week, but next week could get active again. That's my threshold on going live. I don't have a threshold. There's no such thing as a threshold in my books. I literally just go live if I think I need to go live. That's just how it's been recently. New severe thunderstorm warning near Colgate, Highway 3. That is for 60-mile-per-hour damaging winds and quarter-sized hail. Thank you, Talon, for becoming a member. Thank you, Jeff, also for becoming a member. Also, new severe thunderstorm warning for those in Push Matata and as well as Pittsburgh counties, Oklahoma. That is going to be for 70-mile-per-hour winds and also half-dollar sized hail. I think for Grand Prairie, Texas, I think North Texas is clearing out for the most part. Yeah, if you're over in Longview, Texas, we'll probably get a severe warning here soon for wind, but other than that, it's mainly just wind. The bulk of the wind right now is going to be staying, it looks like north of Longview, but that could definitely change as this storm gets a bit closer. Just south of Ore City, near Longview, 60 to 70 mile per hour winds will be coming into that area here shortly. Next SPC outlook for tonight comes out in about 3 minutes. Maybe sooner. Maybe later. Who knows? Should be out here in a few minutes, though. Oklahoma City has a tornado watch. Yeah, we have a tornado watch. Again, this tornado watch is the one that was issued multiple hours ago. It goes for 2 more hours. We're not expecting really much of a threat to continue here up until about 10 o'clock. And then some more storms will try to fire late this evening and move into Oklahoma City. And those could produce the potential for wind, hail, and maybe another isolated tornado threat. That's, again, still a couple hours away. And obviously, if there is anything there that gets concerning, we'll go live again later. But right now, it looks like a pretty low threat. Just waiting for the next SPC outlook. We'll see what it looks like. If there's any changes to the forecast for tonight. Keeping the new studio in Florida? We are. Not going anywhere. Thank you, Nancy, for the $10 super chat. I don't think today should have been enhanced in this area. We have multiple storms out there today, but I mean, this isn't really... honestly, we have an enhanced risk. I don't really think the enhanced risk in general has panned out very much. I mean, for the most part, the main storms that we've had today were in this corridor, and then also over in, like, not even that corridor. It's mostly been in this corridor and also down here. So I don't think even an enhanced risk makes much sense today. With the models, I mean, it looked like we were going to have big hailstorms and windstorms in Dallas-Fort Worth earlier, and none of that ever happened. So it mostly stayed off to the west or south. Oh, Connor is done. Think Southwest Oklahoma is going to get upgraded to enhanced tomorrow? I don't think so. We do have the HRRR is going to be coming out here over the next like 30 minutes, I believe. Let me see if it's come out yet, or it's starting to come out maybe. Yeah, it's just coming out now. I mean, this is what it looks like tomorrow in Oklahoma specifically. Again, some storms will try to fire right around 1, 2 o'clock. Mainly with a threat of wind and hail initially, then a tornado threat will likely start to increase, especially if storms fire near our dry line. So by 3 to 4 o'clock, a bunch of storms in and around Oklahoma City, back into southern Kansas. By 5 to 6, these storms will continue to move northeast. I don't really think there'll be an enhanced anywhere further south of Oklahoma City tomorrow. And once again, the ARRR has done this multiple times in the last few days. It shows another significant hail event potentially, or even tornado risk around 8 o'clock tomorrow evening in North Texas. So that'll be something to keep an eye on. The hodographs here are pretty curved. I mean, if we get a supercell here in North Texas, definitely could see a strong tornado. But it's going to depend on storm mode more than anything, and it looks like a lot of the storms are going to be more clustered together down here, so it'd be a little bit harder for that to happen. Again, tomorrow's environment is highly favorable for tornadoes. I mean, it's very favorable. It's just going to depend on storms and where they fire. But look at this, by 9, 10 o'clock tomorrow. If we had a storm in this environment, these are almost maxed out values across central and northern Oklahoma. Very veered winds here as well across the entire board. Very strong wind shear. Lots of directional shear. Very favorable environment. Same thing on Monday, too. Monday should be a bit more progressive, and if we have discrete supercells, it'll be another big day of severe weather. I do think on Monday we'll probably end up having a moderate risk of severe weather somewhere. It's possible that we don't. It just depends more on storm mode and stuff. Right now, this is what the risk looks like for Monday. Hey, Rye for the super chat. Massachusetts sometimes gets severe weather this time of the year. It's just not super common. It's more common during the summer. This is tomorrow's risk right now. Again, we have a 10% hatch tornado risk in Kansas and northern Oklahoma. Could grow a bit more. I think they'll probably expand this more tonight to include more central Oklahoma. But we'll see what the short-term convective allowing models show here over the next couple hours as they continue to come in. Thank you, Rye, for the super chat, and also thank you to Vicky for the super chat. My electricity is out. It's loud outside. What's happening in Bochito, Oklahoma? Bochito. You're getting some wind. That's really about it. Mostly wind right now rolling through your area. Nothing else. Just 60-mile-per-hour winds. The only storm that's really producing anything significant right now is the one south of McAllister, and it's mostly wind. There's still some hail with this. The tornado threat at this point is pretty close to 0 with it, but again, it's still, I mean, it's still not far from that outflow, I think, but generally speaking, I think the tornado threat's near 0 now on this supercell. SPC outlook still isn't out yet. We should have it at any minute or tonight. Thank you, Amanda, for the super chat. We love your channel. Always been obsessed with weather. And now my 9-year-old asks to watch you. That's awesome. I appreciate that. I'm glad he's tuning in. I thought somebody just asked in the chat, can I expect storms in my area Sunday or tomorrow? I was like, bro, I don't know where your area is. You didn't put the place there. Where's Tornado Pagey? She's on this supercell. The problem is the storm is so tall. They're using Starlink for connection, but the problem is the storm is towering at 60,000 feet tall, and so that's basically blocking their signal, and that's why we've had really rough connection with them. But they are literally on this storm that's now not producing baseballs for hail, but it's now producing more half-dollar sized hail. Hey, Nancy, for the super chat. Even the storms in New York, I don't think that would even classify as an enhanced or anything. Looks like they're starting to get a little bit better connection here. Yeah, I would have not. I would have said the slight risk is fine up there in New York and Vermont. And a lot of it was pretty marginalized up there too. It was mostly 60-mile-per-hour winds and quarter-sized hail. So, just my opinion. Actually, let's look at the storm reports real quick up there. And these are the storm reports for today. is currently loading. These are our storm reports so far today. I mean, it's been pretty much scattered severe weather. That's pretty much a slight risk right there. Some wind reports, a couple hail reports, and then the southern plains. This has definitely been more of a slight risk too, even in the southern plains, but Texas was a mega bust. I would not call it a mega bust, but I would call it, I mean, it was definitely an underperforming event for sure. Dallas-Fort Worth did not see anything, and I almost would have guaranteed you we would saw something in Dallas or Fort Worth today with hail or wind or something. We once again have a little three-body scatter spike here on this hailstorm south of Kiowa, Oklahoma, so probably back up to golf balls, and they actually just upgraded to golf balls, as I said that. So golf ball-sized hail going towards 365. Actually, they updated that 5 minutes ago, but yeah, definitely more significant hail going towards 375. There's still low signal. It's crazy how one storm's heading south and another's heading north. Well, this is what we call left and right splitting storms. This one's splitting right, this supercell. And then all these are left splitters. You can actually look at a hodograph and see bunkers left, bunkers right. Basically shows you the direction that storms are going. And that's essentially what we're seeing right now. We're seeing these left splitters, and then also these are your right splitters. So, thank you, Nanette, for the super chat. Max, are we vibing? We are vibing. We just got the latest SBC outlook for tonight. So we'll go ahead and go over to that. All the new updates. To begin with, this is our general risk of severe weather for tonight. So we are back down to a slight risk of severe weather for a large chunk of Oklahoma, Arkansas, Mississippi, Arkansas. I just said Arkansas twice, Louisiana, Texas, and southern Kansas, and a marginal threat from Alabama back into Texas and even southeastern Colorado. Waiting for the probabilities for tornadoes and stuff like that. And again, there is a tornado risk still tonight, especially after the storm's fire near Oklahoma City later. And as a reminder, as we wait for the tornado probabilities and whatnot, this is what it will probably look like by around 10 to 11 o'clock. Possibly some more big storms there near Oklahoma City around 10 to 11 o'clock tonight, and then they'll fizzle as they push east of Oklahoma City. And we still have curved hodographs here. They're a little bit more straight line, though, so I think the main concern tonight will be wind and hail near Oklahoma City. But if we can keep a discrete supercell out here near Oklahoma City around 10 or 11, I definitely wouldn't rule out a tornado and maybe even a strong tornado being possible with those storms that fire. Just waiting for the probability updates. I have a new severe thunderstorm warning in Texas. That is for Harrison, Cass, Wood, Marion, Smith, Gregg, Morris, and Upshur counties. There's actually a tornado possible label on it. I think it's this storm over here. 60-mile-per-hour winds with a tornado possible label. For that to pop up. Yeah, so that's for Longview. If you're back over in Longview, Gladewater, Union Grove, greatest concern again being 60-mile-per-hour winds. Maybe an isolated brief tornado with this area of storm activity as it moves towards Jefferson and Ore City. Also tracking towards the Lake of the Pines, just off to the west of Shreveport. All right, here are the tornado probabilities for the rest of the night. Honestly, kind of interesting. I'm not going to lie. Let me do a closer view, though, or state view. So these are the tornado probabilities from the Storm Prediction Center. They are still maintaining a 5% tornado risk across much of Oklahoma here for the next few hours, which I don't really agree with for southeast Oklahoma. I guess maybe for west of Oklahoma City if we get a storm or two here over the next few hours. And then this is what it looks like across the board for our tornado risk. So a large 2%, still a 5% back over towards the Longview area of Texas for the next hour. And then that tornado threat is much lower. And then the wind and hail threats have been downgraded to slight, which I'm not going to show you because it's going to take a minute to load on there. But it's the latest for the SBC outlook. But we should have storms initiating here pretty soon, just west of Oklahoma City. So it's the latest from the SBC. Looks like Pagey's actually gotten back out in front of, at least gotten back in action here. Hey, Kyle, also with the super chat. What we're thinking for tomorrow and Monday in DFW. I think tomorrow's gonna be a big hail and wind threat, assuming storms fire, which today they fired, but they weren't nearby. And then on Monday, I'm not too sure yet, but it'll probably also be mostly a wind and hail threat. I was looking for Longview, Texas. 60-mile-per-hour wind's the main concern. If there's a tornado threat, it would be more to your north.
Nice, but I can't for some reason.
Apparently, there's a new severe thunderstorm watch. There is a new severe thunderstorm watch.
All it's doing is focusing on.
It's a really tiny one. Includes, like, I think that's one county. Is that one county or is that two counties? It's one of the smallest severe thunderstorm watches I've ever seen. This is near Del Rio, Texas. I think that's two counties right there that are included in that severe watch. Or actually, no, this is not a new watch. It's actually just, it's condensed. Never mind. All right, it's not a new watch. So I say this is a really small watch for being new. That's just condensed. They cancel the watch for most of, like, areas like Waco and stuff like that. So. As a reminder, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. Don't forget, by the way, if you're not already, make sure to follow us on Facebook and Twitter at MaxVelocityWX. There are links down below as well. You can also follow us on... you can actually join our Discord server. If you have Discord, you can join our Discord server. The link is down below as well. Definitely recommend you check that stuff out. Hey, Southern for the super chat. Have the bats taken off yet? I think the bats are taking off in a few minutes. In about 5-10 minutes or so, I think the bats are going to be taking off here near Austin and San Antonio. The sun hasn't set quite yet. This is a live shot of our beautiful sunset. You can just barely see the sun over the trees there. Beautiful sunset here in Oklahoma. I think what most storm chasers are probably going to do here over the next like hour is probably position over at Oklahoma City for another severe weather threat tonight. So. We just had a 73-mile-per-hour wind gust reported by a train spotter in Wardville, Oklahoma from this severe storm and quarter-sized hail near Highway 69. That's tracking southeast. We'll be going towards Fort Townsend here very shortly. Omaha, Nebraska tomorrow. Mostly a wind and hail threat. Low tornado risk up near Omaha tomorrow. And Kansas City's kind of the same way. I think the chances of a tornado are lower over there, but mainly hail and wind. Should be pretty scattered in those areas. Alrighty. Well, I think that's going to conclude our severe weather coverage, at least for now. We might go live again later if things get going back over in western Oklahoma, but we are going to continue live coverage at least for the next hour or two with Riley, and then if things start picking up again and I have to go live, we'll go live again on this channel. So make sure you subscribe to the channel, click the bell icon so you're notified when we do go live. I wasn't expecting today's stream to be super long because it's not as big of a day, but tomorrow we will be live for a large chunk of the day tomorrow, and as well as Monday and Tuesday. So make sure you're subscribed and click the bell icon so you're notified when we do go live. Again, you don't have to do anything. You can stay on the stream. You'll automatically be redirected to Riley's stream. And yeah, if you don't get redirected to Riley's stream, there will be links in the chat that you can click to get to his stream, and he'll continue live coverage. He'll also have Tornado Pagey storm chasing with him here over the next hour. All right, thank you guys all so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and stay on the stream. Again, you'll be redirected to Riley to continue live weather coverage. Have a great rest of your night. We'll see